All right. Am I on? I think I am. Welcome to the Thursday night recap brought to you by Hunnaball. I would bring it to you by someone else, but I don't have any sponsors. What is up? What is up? What is up? Let me make sure that everything's going through nice and well, making sure everything looks good and peachy. But this was a game. Looks like it's coming out. Yep. Well, this was a game that people played on a football field. What a weird one. I'm waiting for some people to file in, but first let me just say a few initial thoughts off rip. Kirk Herbstreit has a really funny laugh. That was one of my bigger notes of the evening. Because it's not like there was much to talk about in the first half. It really felt like belt to ass from the Seahawks. I'm glad the Seahawks won because clearly they're the better team, but it's nights like this where you really realize that, like, football's cool, man. Football is sick. You could have a team beating the feathers, I'll say. Beating the feathers off a team. Bird on bird matchup. Bird on bird crime. You can watch a team beating the feathers off another one. Then a 2-touchdown fourth quarter, and then everything changes. And then a short field goal, kickoff, and then everything changes. Jason Myers, my fantasy hero of the night. Thank you. Thank you for making that second 50-yard kick. Because boy, howdy, did I need it. As you can see by my fantasy matchup, Trey Benson was very underwhelming. In fact, he basically got benched in the second half there. I don't know what the hell happened, but Jason Myers came through when I needed him most. He bricked a field goal, so, you know, could be better. Lost me a point. But hey, at the end, he got his get back. He got his 50-yard get back. 13 out of a kicker, something I will never be upset about. 10 out of Trey Benson, I'm a little underwhelmed. Frankly, I'm a little underwhelmed. However, I'm not a big sports bettor, and I did have a prize picks ticket. Let's just say tomorrow night, Chinese food is on the betting apps. Chinese food is on prize picks. Just kind of waiting for someone to join now. I mean, I could talk about this game more. Yeah, so where to start? I would love for someone to be in the chat. That way I could ask, should I start with the Seahawks or the Cardinals? But, you know, it's all right. We're here. It says 7 people are in here. Mahi, could someone say something in the chat? Mahi, what is up? Welcome to everybody that's in here. I didn't see 7 people in the chat, so I figured no one had joined yet. Guys, should I talk about the Cardinals or the Seahawks first? Do we go negative or positive first? Because I have a lot to say about both teams. From a fantasy perspective, tonight was so infuriating. For everyone, really. Unless you're an Elijah Arroyo starter. Hey, there it is, Muhammad. What's the MHJ opinion now? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Let's talk about the Cardinals first, then. Okay. What's up, Brady? Couple things with the Cardinals, right? Kyler, boy, he got sacked 6 times. It felt like he got sacked 6 times. There were a couple plays, too, where he, like, fell forward to get, like, a yard or two, so it didn't count as a sack. Kyler got... He got punched, let's be honest here. And you're looking at it, and the stats aren't impressive. He threw 2 picks, and one of them wasn't really his fault. It was Marvin Harrison's, but the first one probably was just miscommunication across the board. But let's talk about Marvin Harrison, right? Because he put together a fine game. 6 grabs, 66 yards, and a tubby, right? If you watch the first half of this game, I'll say the first 3 quarters of this game, Marvin Harrison, boy, Cardinals fans were panicking. By the way, if you guys are in here, you're not alone. Yeah, by the way, I want to say this really quick. Look what I'm wearing. Indianapolis football. Hold on. I got to move the chair because this area is super tight. I'm going to re-aggravate my broken foot. Here we go. There it is. You see it? Nope, it's blocked. There it is. Dan Jones. In the flesh. Got it. So I will be wearing this until the Colts lose a game. / Daniel Jones proves me wrong. So basically, that just really messed up with my green screen. But basically, I will be wearing this for the whole season if the Colts beat the Rams on Sunday. Because that is the toughest matchup they have left. Let's go. The shirt is clean. What I thought was funny about Marvin Harrison, and this is going to feel really mean, but I don't care. Marvin Harrison going down on one knee and crying when he scored a touchdown. It was a feel-good moment. It was also kind of like a, damn, bro. Like, you guys are still down. It's not that deep. And I respect a player that plays with his emotions, especially a receiver, but boy, man, I feel like Marv, and this will probably be a career-long problem with him. Marvin Harrison, whether it's his dad, whether it's the muscle he put on, whether it's playing in Arizona or being the 4th overall pick, something about him, or maybe everything about him, he carries so much pressure when he plays. And I completely agree with you, Mahi. His body language was terrible. Anytime something doesn't work out with Marvin Harrison, it's bad. Like, it feels bad. Like, it feels like he's panicking, so in turn, you have to panic as well. I haven't drafted Marvin Harrison in fantasy. The bar is low for him. He got a touchdown and he cried. He dropped a pass last week and he cried. And I'm not the Caleb Williams hater who's going to say you can't cry. But at a certain point as a receiver, you just kind of got to tuck her up and, like, you know, be a man about it. And yes, Otis, they did have a good fight at the end. They did, and I was going to name this streamer The Cardinals Cook no matter what. I liked the title. I was going to roll with it. Unless, of course, the Cardinals won. I would have been really bummed if the Cardinals won, because then I would have had to make another thumbnail. Oh my god, all the dust from this cheap shirt got in my eye. Good God almighty. Anyways, this shirt smells gross, by the way. It smells like straight paint. It's not good. So if I, like, seem a little off, a little woozy by the end of this, just know it's the shirt, and not that I was huffing cans before this. But Marvin Harrison, speaking of red eyes, Marvin Harrison, dude, like, it's the kind of thing where I'm a Giants fan, as you all know, and really quick, let me just get this suspended. He's better. He's better. He's better than Marvin Harrison. Everybody in here knows he's better than Marvin Harrison. He was a better prospect than Marvin Harrison. He has better stats than Marvin Harrison. He has worked with worse quarterbacks than Marvin Harrison. Did you know that Malik Neighbors has had 6 or maybe 7... 6, it's either 6 with Dart or 6 without. 6, maybe including Dart, quarterbacks throwing to him. Marv's had 1. And I'm not saying Kyler's this awesome guy. Clearly, he did not play well at all tonight. Like, just a bad game. But he had consistency. He's got the work. Like, Michael Wilson looks better than MHJ. And the funny thing is, Otis talked about the Seahawks kicker. Dude, when the Seahawks kicker bricked that, I was pissed. Because I have Myers. I've got him in fantasy. And in my league, you lose a point if you brick a kick. You brick a kick, right? So, there you go. Thank God. Thank God for Jason Myers. Now, Otis says no one's arguing Marvin Harrison is Malik Neighbors. I'm not saying that's the case. What I'm saying is one was picked 4th overall, one was picked 6th overall. And I've said this before on stream. It's not my take, but I'll say it again. If Marvin Harrison's Jr. name was Brian Thomas, he would not have been the 4th pick of the draft. He would not have been the 4th pick of the draft. Plain and simple. So this is not like, oh, let's all rip on Marvin Harrison Jr. He cried when he scored a touchdown. And I've got something to say about this fella, too. But it's kind of like, where do you go if you're the Cardinals? Where do you go, right? He caused both of Kyler's picks. The second one was for sure. Yeah, they just are off sync. Like, did you guys hear the stat? I think it was like, I don't want to misquote it, but the Kyler to Marvin connection has caused the 4th most interceptions when a quarterback is retargeting a certain wide receiver. I want to say the number was 6. I could be wrong on that part, but I know it's a top 5 thing. And when your quarterback and wide receiver 1 don't have chemistry, and your coach is not smart at all, it's just not going to work out. Like, they're 2-2. There's no sense in hitting the panic button if you're the Cardinals, but they're in a stiff division. They just lost to the Hawks at home. And I'm pretty sure, what was the spread? 1.5 Seahawks? And I told you guys Seahawks by a field goal. Did I or did I not say Seahawks by a field goal? I'm just saying. You guys are watching the right streamer. I know I said Seahawks by a field goal. The Cards are the definition of so close yet so far from being a good team. I completely agree. And Marvin Harrison, is he better than Marvin Harrison at being Marvin Harrison? Not even close. Marvin Harrison is a Hall of Famer. Marvin Harrison Jr. might not even be on the card. They might not even pick up his 5th year. They probably will, but there's a chance. It just doesn't seem like the vibes are good at all. He's still in the Politnikov his last year in college and deserves some of the hype, but not the generational tag. Exactly. I'm not saying he was a bad prospect. I'm saying Malik Neighbors was better. As a prospect. Obviously, as it's panned out, the Giants got the better cut. And clearly the Giants are doing a hell of a lot with it. But, you know, at a certain point, I think Marvin Harrison's the big story out of this one. Him and Kyler, dude. Kyler, man, he holds onto the ball for so long. And I get that the Seahawks defense is good. This is a tough matchup. I'm not going to lie to you. But, man, Kyler just shrinks under pressure. All pun intended there. He's just like not good when there's pressure, when he's getting the Bryce Young treatment now, where when the pressure's off and they're going to lose anyway, Kyler steps up and lets it rip. But at the end of the day, there's still dust in my eye, but at the end of the day, do you really trust Kyler to take you anywhere? Exactly. I completely agree. They're not bad enough for a rebuild, but they aren't good enough for playoff contention, which means you should rebuild. If you're not good enough to make the playoffs, then I'm not saying tear it all down, but damn, I don't know. We talk about quarterbacks all the time on this channel, and I don't want to be the first take like, oh, Kyler's not the answer, because what's the alternative? Jameis? Like, draft a guy? But at a certain point, your #1 overall pick that you paid a hefty contract to, how many years does Kyler have left on that deal, by the way? Let's look that up. We do this every time. These streams can get boiled down to a formula at this point. We talk about the worst quarterback of the game. We look at their contract. This flashing back to the Tua thing, right? Woof. All right. So they're stuck with Kyler for another 2 seasons at least. If they drop him after this year, it's 57. Okay. There's pretty much an out after next year. I did not talk about Dart starting. I will. Believe me, I will talk about that. I thought about making a short about it, but I figured I'd save it for the live stream. Boy, do I have a lot to say about that. But we'll talk about Thursday Night Football for a while, because that's the crux of this stream. Because to be honest, in short, I'm excited for Dart, but we'll talk about that more later. They're kind of stuck with Kyler. And again, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, you got a punt on him. He's not even good. But, like, you're paying Kyler $43 going on $53 million. And he's not the strong point of their team. And I'm trying to figure out what the Cardinals are good at. I feel like when healthy, their defense is solid. Of course, their defense is very beat up right now, especially their secondary. Will Johnson, who, you know, he's not playing. But, like, and Josh Sweat forced that fumble. I've been looking forward to your reaction. Believe me, I will. But, Russ, can you create a fan call-in for post-game streams? I can. I don't know how to link it through my stream. If I can figure out how to do it, I should do, like, a Discord call. I should do a Discord call. For those of you that don't know Sam Grease like I will do a Discord line. I just don't know how to set that up. For those of you that don't know Sam Grease like I do, he started Sam Darnold, Ken Walker, and JSN tonight. And boy, howdy. Not a great look. Not a great time. But to close with the Cardinals, I'm not saying it's time to fully hit the panic button. I just don't know what the upside is here. If the goal for the Cardinals is to compete for a wild card, keep it exactly how it is. But that's their ceiling. That's as good as it's going to get in Arizona. We all know their owner's terrible. If you haven't seen my owner video, I'll put it to you straight. Michael Bidwell is one of the worst owners in the NFL. He's so bad that he paid off the Arizona Hall of Fame to put him in. Never a good thing. Never a good thing. So it's like, I don't want to completely just give up on the Cardinals. They almost won tonight. They would have been 3-1, beating a good Seahawks team. They fought all the way to the end. But at the end of the day, like, Kyler Murray. Those are the 2 words I leave you with. Kyler Murray. Honestly, I think it's okay to overpay for a fringe top 15 quarterback when it could be a lot worse than Murray. I get that. I do. And I don't disagree with you. But when they paid him, they didn't expect this to be what happened. They didn't expect this to happen. And you know what, welcome to the stream. I completely agree. Their coach is not good. Jonathan Gannon, again, I'm not pro firing head coaches because of 1 game or 2 games. I have heard from Cardinals fans, offensive play calling is brutal, and I fully believe it. It's easy to point fingers at Marv and Kyler Murray and Trey Benson, but when you're a coach and you don't know how to utilize talent, that falls on you. And Jonathan Gannon's a defensive mind. I don't know who the Cardinals OC is, but I know he's not very bright. So let's look at this guy, and he can be an enemy of the channel. Boy, the worst type of YouTube. Oh my God. Well, that's not it. There it is. I got to get off of. Okay. Drew Petzing. 3rd year as OC. Yeah. So people don't love him. Fans do not care for the guy. I'm not going to go much deeper into it, but should just keep his playbook. So people aren't happy. This is from Cards Wire. He should keep his playbook in his pocket, and he's doing nothing. Like, they do need to be more efficient on offense. So, like, I'm not going to parrot everything this guy says, and I certainly am not going to take a copyright for this. Actually, let's just watch this clip in real quick. Let's see this, huh? All right. Oh, jeez. Is that Marv? Oh, boy. Yeah, that wasn't good. That was not fun. Anyways, you guys get the gist. Jonathan Gannon's not too bright. And, yeah, seriously, I'm in a Browns shirt. Yeah, wait, let's go back. What is this fella's history? Yeah, because, yeah, Cleveland. Boy, what is Drew Petzing, huh? Let's see. He's born in 87, so, you know, not a super old guy. He was hired by the Browns as a football operations intern, offensive assistant under Mike Zimmer, assistant receivers coach, assistant quarterbacks coach, wide receivers coach. Went back to the Browns as the tight ends coach under Stefanski. Then was hired as the OC of the Cardinals. Well, I mean, he has done things in his life. Who else? I didn't even know Middlebury College existed. But hey, if anybody's been there, shout out them. Degree in economics, shit, more valuable than my degree. I'm not gonna knock the guy. He's a young stud. He could be better. He played at Wellesley or whatever. He played in high school. Damn, this guy's done a lot actually. Harvard, BC, Yale. And now people are calling for his job in Arizona. And you know what? I don't blame him. He works under Zim, exactly. And Trey McBride, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I completely forgot. Trey McBride. Yeah, he got 7 catches. It certainly didn't feel like it. It certainly didn't feel like they're scheming the ball to get to their best players. And let me close with this, because this is my big thing. I was so excited for Trey Benson tonight. I'm like, oh boy, Trey Benson's going to get a touchdown. He's going to get like 5 or 6 grabs. It's going to be sick. And he was catching out of the backfield. I don't know if he got hurt or if Demercado is just like the greatest guy ever. But the fact that Jonathan Gannon comes out in a presser and is like, I have full faith in Trey Benson, and then doesn't put him in on a single 3rd down. Hello? What? Your receiving back who has 5 catches can't come in on 3rd down. And then on that last drive, he didn't even play. So this is kind of a biased fantasy rant. But I don't know if Trey got hurt or if he like said something about Jonathan Gannon's sister. But something happened to where the Cardinals were like, we don't need him. Demercado, grab your cleats, buddy. You're coming out. And it didn't make me happy. Not one bit. Trey Benson, what a letdown. I will be starting Travion Henderson for the foreseeable future. God damn. This whole offense. They don't know how to use people. Why the hell is Michael Carter on the field? Why is Michael Carter on the field? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. They looked bad. 6 sacks, and that's a low estimate, by the way. Kyler saved those. Benson must be bad in pass pro. Exactly. He must be bad in pass pro. Play calling is awful. Their best player needs more targets. Yep, saw that. King of run, pass, punt, archetype offense. That is Zimmer for you. Yeah, another defensive mind. They just blew it. Anyways, let's talk about the Seahawks really quick. We'll talk about Dart. We'll cover what we need to. What do you think about Dart starting? Let me finish with this game, damn it. Believe me. There's nothing I want to talk about more than Dart, but I just want to finish. That way I never have to talk about the Seahawks ever again. That's actually not true. Frankly, I think the Seahawks are a fun team. I think the Seahawks are a really, good team. I know they're 3-1. What was their loss? God, I'm blanking on their loss. And I know they almost lost tonight. Let me see what game the Seahawks lost. I'm trying to figure this out. Let's see, huh? Okay, great. Oh, great. Now, that's going to take me to an external website. It's going to ask me about cookies. Okay. Who did they lose to? Oh, they lost to the Niners. They lost to the Niners in that close one because Sam Darnold ran into Charles Cross. I think the Seahawks are sneaky good, though. And, I don't even know if it's sneaky anymore. Because, I like how Mahi was just Steelers loss. Yeah, they didn't. Niners, yeah. So, haha, now it's you, Mahi, who was wrong. It's nice. It's nice having a moment where I can catch Mahi in an incorrect call. Anyways, but I think they're good. Sam Darnold's obviously not a future MVP. But, oh yeah, retract it. No one saw it, Mahi. But I do think it's funny. Sam Darnold is a quarterback that if you protect him, he's fine. He's fine. He's not going to win you any games. But if you can protect him, he's not going to lose you any games. And that's where I'm I feel like the bar is Sam Darnold. If you're going to pay your quarterback, they should be better than Sam Darnold, right? And Kyler just isn't. Of course, they're asking Darnold to do less. Of course, they're obviously a run-first offense. And, Darnold only threw it 26 times. But And he got sacked a couple times, but other than that, I'm making my O-line video that'll come out, I'm hoping Saturday. I'm going to film it tonight, and I'm hoping I can get it out Saturday. But the Seahawks have a really good O-line. A really good O-line, and a defense that's getting pretty healthy pretty quick. Like, this is a tough secondary. Like, a part of me wants to rip on Kyler a bunch, but, like, the Seahawks secondary is good. Like, they've got Woolen, they've got Witherspoon, Bryant, Julian Love. It's not Legion of Boom good, but it's pretty stout. It's pretty stout. And Otis, yeah, I told you they'd be good back in DR, Otis. Yeah, you do remember that. You do remember that stream. I thought the Seahawks would be bad because I thought they did a bad job, like, building out that offensive line, but they figured it out. And JSN is better than Marvin Harrison, for sure. I think he was a better, I mean, maybe not a better prospect because he went later in the draft, but it was funny that JSN had all these red flags. They're like, yeah, well, he's just, you know, not worth a high pick. And he ended up being pretty good. He struggled in his rookie season, more of a slot guy. But once you cleared out the room a little bit, got rid of DK Metcalf, let Tyler Lockett, you know, do his thing and get old, it's exciting to see JSN. Now, of course, tonight was not JSN's night. I mean, he only had 4 grabs for 79 yards on 5 targets. From a fantasy perspective, you're not thrilled about JSN, but he definitely did what you needed, right? He gave you 11 points. It's not great, but if you're a JSN owner in fantasy, no need to panic. No need to freak out, Sam. He's fine. But as we're talking about fantasy, let's talk about the 1-2 here. Let's talk about the 1-2. Gray Zabel, biggest O-line steal in the draft for Seattle. It was a good pick. It was a good pick. I don't know about biggest steal because it's an interior guard from a non-power conference, but hey, it's a good pick. They did well. God, I wish the Giants had Gray Zabel. Imagine the Giants traded up and instead of Jackson Dart, they took Gray Zabel. That would have been sick. I think Addison was the best of the 23 first-round wide receivers. No biases. Better than Zay Flowers? That's a tough call. That dot to Barner was gorgeous. Yeah! Who the hell's Barner? AJ Barner. That was sick. You're right. You're right. Like, 13 points, not 11. Well, yeah, 13 with the runs and all that. But, yeah, man. That dot to Barner was sick. That was a fun one. I would pull it up, but I'm not taking any more copyrights. You guys saw the game. All right, I'm not taking any more copyrights. But I want to talk about this backfield, the Seahawks backfield, because Ken Walker is a good running back. I'm not the first to say that. I'm not the last to say that. But this dude needs to just go north-south sometimes. I counted at least 3 runs that Ken Walker could have just gone forward and gained a couple yards, and he spins around and goes backwards. He spins around and goes the wrong way. He goes sideways. He goes to the sideline, anywhere but forward. And it cost the Seahawks some valuable plays. Not to mention that stupid unsportsmanlike taunting penalty when he threw the ball at the Cardinals corner DB. I'm blanking on the fellow's name, but he threw the ball at the Cardinals DB and took 15 up the nose, which took Myers out of field goal range, which ended up not mattering. But it's dumb stuff like that that gives Charbonnet the goal line work. And as a fantasy player, I hate running back by committees. As an NFL fan, you got to give credit where it's due. Having a goal line guy like Charbonnet and then having a Ken Walker who can just go and get you rip off those big 21-yard runs, having more yards per carry, all that jazz. It's fun. Now, if you're a Ken Walker owner, say you traded for him today or something, you're not exactly the whole, I don't know, what's the word, Mr. Excited, but it's a Clint Kubiak offense. They're going to run the ball. It's going to be a run-first team. So while Walker didn't exactly show up too much in the stat sheet tonight, he, had 1 catch for 29 yards, not too shabby. And then he had, a little over 10 points, 11 points or so? Maybe 12? It's not bad. And I think there are better days ahead. It's a little frustrating to see Charbonnet get the goal line work, though. I'm not going to lie. If Charbonnet just went down again, not saying I'm rooting for that because I don't have Kenneth Walker, but if Charbonnet went down again, I think all Kenneth Walker owners could rest easy. However, that is not the world we live in. That is not the world we live in. But Charb owners, you're also in kind of a gray area because you don't want to start Charbonnet. He's just kind of taking points from Ken Walker. So if one of them goes down, the other one is a set and forget RB1, probably high-end RB1. But at the moment, the split is kind of hurting both of them. But hey, that's just me. Zabel would have been great for the Giants. Walker was pulling the old Saquon. I completely agree. North Dakota State should be a D1 team. They constantly produce NFL prospects every year. The only reason they're not major is broadcasters don't have North Dakota broadcasts. I agree. They had Wentz, right? Yeah, it was Wentz. I almost picked up Walker this week. What Scataboon said, I think we'll get more chances with Tracy down. For sure. Good pick. Good pick. Jason Myers' room could have been the funniest game of all time. Had to do was miss another kick. I agree. I wasn't rooting for it because I needed Jason Myers for my fantasy team. But hey, if that game went to overtime and this stream would have started a half hour later, that would have been funny. Imagine that game tied. Imagine that game tied. But hey, anything is possible in division matchups in prime time. One thing I want to say really quick that I think, you know, is going to go... How do I look this up? Okay, let's do this, huh? This won't get me copywritten. I don't think. Another sick... Here we go. Where is it? Come on. Show me something. Show me something. I'm trying to make a point here. Trying to make a point here, damn it. Where is it, man? All right. This picture will do. This picture will do. Hold on. I think... You can't really tell from here. I think this was a great field aesthetic. Yeah, the mighty Trey Lance. There you go. What a group. I was rooting for 4 OTs, my parlay. Yeah, of course. If fantasy and parlay makes you want this. Makes you want overtime always. I thought this was a sick field aesthetic. I think the new Cardinals jerseys are badass, dude. I think with the great, like, I say this I allude to this every now and again, but part of watching football is just understanding that, like, the on-field product looks good. And I think when you combine the Amazon cameras with the State Farm lighting, this is going to sound really film nerdy, State Farm lighting, and these uniforms, the color schemes, I thought this was one of the better field aesthetics we've got all year. I think the Cardinals alt, the sand ones, are pretty cool. If I was a Cardinals fan, I would be punching NFL.com, NFLshop.com, and getting one of those sand alts. And I'm not even a huge fan of these rivalry jerseys, but damn it, I liked these. They were cool. They were subtle. You get it? Because Arizona's got a lot of sand. I hate sand. It's coarse, and it gets everywhere. But I'm just saying, I thought the aesthetic was nice. I don't know. That's like my mini take. As a football fan who didn't really have much skin in the game other than fantasy and a bet, I thought it looked good. It looked good. I want to see if there's a better shot of these sand uniforms. I don't think so. I guess this one. Nah, that's not going to fly. Here we go. God, you still can't even see it. But yeah, right here. Bang. Right there. How do you like that? Cards jerseys look like Bonnie's blue bed sheets. I don't know who that is, but come on. Come on now. But yeah, I like the sand. It looks a little gross in this picture. It looks a little yellow, but I like it. I thought their jersey was really dirty. No, it's sand. It's sand, fellas. It's sand. Now, the State Farm turf, that's a whole nother story. But hey, and the helmets are nice. Little Arizona flag on the side. Like, I like the details, man. Like, and from what it looks like, all the sand patterns are random on each jersey. And that's a nice little touch. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, no, it looks like it. Because you look at this guard's pants. Yeah, you look at this guard's pants, right? And he's got like a whole like sand on the kneecap thing there. And Kyler doesn't have that grain of sand. Seeing them in game made them look really good. When they released it, they put so many filters. I completely agree. I completely agree. They photoshopped the hell out of it. The NFL doesn't know how to brand jerseys. I forget what year it was, but it was a late night game. Cardinals Seahawks 6-6. The only reason I remember the aesthetic was gorgeous. Yeah! That's what the aesthetic was gorgeous. Say what you will about the Seahawks. Their color scheme is nice. Their color scheme is nice. When they changed uniforms in 2012 to usher in the Legion of Boom and the new Nike jerseys, you know, you could do a lot wrong with lime green. You really can. But the Seahawks nailed it. And when you add the gray pants, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm a nerd for this stuff. We spend a lot of time on NFLshop.com on this stream. I'm a nerd for this kind of stuff. Bonnie Blue's the lady who's breaking records for being with 1,000 guys. Oh, that's who it is. Damn, thank you, Jarv. I forgot. Not surprised Sam knew, but I forgot. I didn't tune in. I did see the headline. I didn't tune in. It's a good pull. It's a good pull. Go Colts! Anyways, you want to talk about field aesthetic? Imagine they wore this guy. Imagine Dan Jones threw on this shirt. Woof. I'm going to pass out. It smells so gross. I'm throwing this thing in the washer. As soon as we get off this, I am throwing this in the washer. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, let's look at the Seahawks old jerseys. Because I remember they were like kind of ugly. God, I'm such a bad typer. All right. Seahawks. Okay. So this is what they're rolling with, dude. And they gotta bust out these alts too. Whoops. Nope. Not trying to save the image. Here we go. God, really? Okay. They gotta bust out these alts too. They gotta bust out the throwback. They gotta bust out the alts. The rivalry one, kind of a hit or a miss. That helmet's nice. The little gradient. I'm sure it looks really bad coming up on stream, but you can see the colors. This is tight. This is tight, man. This is good. My ankle's still hurting. Thanks for the ask, John. I'm actually feeling a little better. I'm currently listed as doubtful for my flag football game on Sunday, but you know, hey. So yeah, this is sick. I want to see Seahawks uniforms over time. God. Okay. All right. Let's see it, huh? Okay. I will say these are kind of gross. No disrespect, these are kind of gross. Like, this is kind of icky. I get what they were going for, but these look icky. Like, the throwbacks are sick. Like, this is nice. The highlighter greens, the throwbacks are nice. This is not cool. The 2000 and yeah, the uniforms they wore when they lost to the Steelers in the Super Bowl. Not fun. The Sean Alexander years. Sean Alexander was a beast, but you know the uniforms weren't doing him much good. Yes, this is the Indiana Jones shirt. It says Dan Jones on the back. Like, should I just flip it inside out? Yeah, I'm gonna do that actually instead of like turn around. This is so much easier. I might just wear it like this. Also, the shirt's gigantic. Dan Jones, 1-7. There it is. How do you like it? Badass. I think I'm gonna wear it like this from here on out. Most uncomfortable shirt ever. But you know, that's what you get. 15 bucks on Etsy. I shouldn't have gotten the XL. I got the large. Keep track of the stats in the flag game. We'll decide if you're a fantasy bust. Oh, I already do that. I already keep track. I'll be telling my teammates, I'm like, guys, I need to get 10 PPR points tonight. So, you know, just check it to me underneath. Let's PPR scam a little bit. But, yeah. The highlighter green, we all love it. Yeah. So I think that's the big takeaway with the Seahawks. The field aesthetic was great. God, Buffalo's uniforms are gross too. What are the worst uniforms ever? I'm just curious because they're gonna put the creamsicles, and I did completely disagree. Reddit, no, let's go NFL.com. Let's stick mainstream here. Yeah, these are nice. These are nice. These uniforms get way too much hate. Get a Scattaboo jersey, maybe, maybe. If I can afford one, maybe. Again, I like these low key. I don't know. Call me crazy. I like the old school Browns ones. I think these are better than the ones they had with Odell. Remember those? Those were gross. They like put way too much orange in them. What is this list? These are nice too. What is this list? The Reebok like shine didn't do it very well. Jags color rush. Those weren't great. 100% Browns and Green Bay khakis. Yeah. What is this list? These are great uniforms. Is this like best uniforms or ugliest uniforms ever? Adam Rank has no idea. He has no eyes. This list sucks. This list sucks, Adam. These are sick. I love and miss these. Okay, even though I didn't watch football, I'll give them this. I'll give them these ones. These ones are pretty stiff. These ones are brutal. These are pretty ugly. This is like if the Century Reds were like fully thought out. Green Bay khaki. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, not great. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh God, the Broncos. These are brutal. They're listing the teams and not the jerseys. Nah. I think this is the throwbacks. Yeah, the throwbacks. These are gross. They're kind of fun, but they're gross. I'll give it to them. The Sox blow it. Another awful take. These are probably the best uniforms the Niners have ever had. This isn't the worst uniform if you look at it in a vacuum, but when you consider the great uniform that it replaced, it's pretty bad. All right. Come on. Come on, Adam. Grow a spine. Grow a spine, Adam. What a joke. Teams wearing one solid color. Look, pal. That's not even a fair take. That's not even a fair take. I like all of these, to be honest with you. Maybe the Titans is a little leaving to be desired, but that's just because, again, the Reebok jerseys had this, like, gloss to them that made everything look ugly. Check when it came out in the 2000s. They probably hate all the colorful ones because they want to. Yeah, no, seriously, this minimalist ass article. When did this come out? Okay, great. We'll never know. We'll never know, Adam Rank. The NFL doesn't like to do. I'm assuming this is an older article. Anyways, I mean, unnecessary black uniforms. Dude, this is the most grandpa yelling at the sun article I've read in a while. My God. The Cardinals' black uniforms aren't amazing, but, like, they're not the worst uniforms ever. Wear the Giants standard. Adam Rank just wants every team to be just primary and number. Like, yeah, no, they did make Ponder look cool. What a pull. And I really miss I really miss when the Vikings would wear this. I also liked the uniforms they wore after. Those, like, straight purples. But these are sweet. These are sweet. They worked so well with that helmet. What a time. Adrian Peterson was so good. Anyways, These are gross. I'll give it to you. The Eagles have a lot of good throwbacks. These aren't one of them. These aren't one of them. We're almost done with this article, by the way, if you're not into the whole uniform talk. But Adam Rank doesn't like alt uniforms. Yeah, apparently he just likes to play it straight. Go Bears, apparently. But yeah, oh God, he's about to piss you guys off. But yeah, Eagles blue and gold. I'll give it to him. These are ugly. Let's look at the next one. I know these weren't what you guys meant when you said the lime green throwbacks. I know we were talking about these. Well, I lost it. Nope, I lost it. Anyway, I know what you guys were talking about, though. I know that's not it, but these aren't that bad. These aren't that bad. I like these more than the other, like, lame blue ones. Like that somber blue. He says it's the second worst jersey of all time. That's a rough take. Jets had a yellow throwback, too. Oh, yeah, those are brutal. The Mark Sanchez ones. And last one. Oh! Boo! These are cool. These are cool. I like these. If you're going to put this on the list as number one and not put that Dallas uniform that's got the giant stars, boo. I like these, man. This article sucks. You suck, Adam Rank. Cardinals are booked. Yeah, they are booked. Welcome to the stream, Smitty. They are booked. I agree. The Saints gold unis this year are terrible. Oh, yeah, we looked at those. We looked at those. Those are brutal. Those are brutal. Okay, this is a more updated list. We'll jam through this really quick because I just want to see a more updated one. This sucks. I'll give it to him. Bleacher Report knows what they're talking about. Bills. Yep. These suck. Yep. Agreed. What else? Yeah, these are kind of icky. Not going to lie. Yep. Bears. Yep. Sucks. Patriots. I don't know why this gets no love. I like these. Yeah, Mahi. These were sick. This is so 90s. Let me pause this fella. Especially with the little stripe pattern. All right. Come on. Not the Century Reds. I'm not going to blame him. Giants standard is really good in my opinion. If you look at the big blue look, even though everyone likes the Raiders unis, as a Raider fan, I think Giants. Look, I don't want to hate on the tradition of the Giants uniforms, but it's because we keep losing. Because we keep losing. The Niners have the best uniforms, 94 jerseys. Is that the one we just saw? Is that what you're talking about? Because I agree. I agree. This is what I was talking about. These are gross. These are the Browns ones I don't like. I completely agree. These are gross. Moving on. Oh! This helmet was sick. This helmet was badass. The Saxonville helmet. Come on. They made Bortles look cool. And that's saying a lot. These were gross. I'll give it to them. The mismatched helmets were stupid as hell. Just combined two ugly uniforms, put them together. They were gross. I'll give it to them. I mean, I don't love these, but they're not the worst uniforms ever. The Raiders white are nice. I do agree. The Raiders white are nice. Broncos yellow and brown. Agreed. Jacksonville color rush. There it is. Yeah, this isn't great. This makes the helmet look pretty weak. How do you have the helmet in one take and then the color rush in the other? I feel like you could just combine them, but sure. This isn't great. This isn't great. I'm not going to lie. This looks like piss. Anyway, I don't love this take. People hate neon green for some reason. People hate neon green. Look at Russ. Back in the glory days. Pat the Patriot throwbacks are my favorite throwbacks. Way overrated. I think we're talking about the same. Is that the one we saw? Because the Patriots have some good throwbacks. I like the Reds. People hate on the Reds. I like the old Rams and Bucks uniforms. St. Louis? I liked the Saints old. I liked the old St. Louis Rams uniforms. I thought they were cool. The Bucks one is nostalgic. It's cool. It's like ugly but nice, and it gets way too much hate. You're telling me this isn't nice? Bleacher Report, you're saying this is the second ugliest jersey ever? This is cool. And yeah, the Greatest Show on Turf Rams uniforms were sick too. This is cool, man. I like these. Last one, the Bumblebees. Yeah, they're ugly. They're ugly. They've got a look, but they're ugly. You got to have AB. The red one. The red ones are nice. The red one is nice. You got to have AB scoring a touchdown if you're going to wear these. Otherwise, like, you can't send out Calvin Austin in these jerseys. You know what I mean? You can't have you can't have Aaron Rodgers throwing it to DK Metcalf in these jerseys. So yeah, that's my like spam uniform take. Throw your favorite uniform ever in the chat right now. I'm trying to think of mine. My favorite uniform ever. God, I really like those Giants color rushes, the white. I know it's not my favorite one, but I wasn't talking about the cream skulls. I was talking about the alarm clock. Yeah, the alarm clock one's nice too. It is nice. I agree. Houston had an H jersey last year that made my eyes bleed. Oh, I remember that one. That one's gross. Houston just doesn't know what they're doing. Favorite uniforms ever? Call it the Oilers. The Oilers powder blue. That's a good pick. The Houston Oilers powder blue. God. What? Titans? Come on, no. This is sick. This is what I'm all about. The fact that they don't, like, remake this pisses me off. This is sweet. Already said Red Pats or maybe Oilers. Exactly. I can see DK fighting cornerback in those. Giants 80-90s throwback is sick, too. Not going to disagree. Jags 99s. I think that's a good one, too. I think we're thinking of the same one. With MJD? Yeah, wow. It actually came up. Yeah, these were sweet. These were sick. Fred Taylor. These were fun. Who didn't like these? These were nice. Powder blue jerseys in general are nice. Very true. Kelly greens are nice, too. Can't lie. I hate admitting this in public, but I have actually worn an Eagles Kelly green. It was, you know, shout out Blake. It was my close buddy's birthday. Figured why not? One time. If Michael Strahan can wave the flag, I can wear the jersey. But yeah. When was the last time the Titans wore? They do wear the Oilers throwbacks. You're right. I remember Will Levis in it. You're so right. You're so right. I just don't watch Titan games. But yeah, Derrick Henry, there he is. Yeah, this is sick. This is sick. If you're a Titans fan and this didn't fire you up, I mean, I don't know how many Titans fans there are, but if this doesn't fire you up, the classic Dolphins jersey, another great pick. Another great pick. There's a YouTuber on here, on the website of YouTube, named Kofi. Your Giants card us revoked. I know. To be fair, look, the context is too much. I'll say it really quick. I was going to a Lakers game with my buddy. I bought him tickets, and the problem was I bought it on a Monday. I didn't know that Eagles-Bucks was going to be on a Monday when I bought the tickets because I bought it like months in advance. So my buddy had to miss the Eagles playoff game, so I figured to even the score, I will wear an Eagles Kelly green jersey. They lost, so goes to show when I root for a team, they insta-lose. But yeah, I know it's not great. Welcome to the chat, Julio. Red Pats for me, too. I like it. Anyways, I feel attacked. I'm on tilt. All right. Should I talk about Jackson Dart? Should I talk about Jackson Dart? Let's pull up a picture of Jackson Dart really quick before we start this whole ordeal. Why not? This picture's funny. Good God. All right. Let's do it. All right. You save him from attending a massacre. Jinxing him. Exactly, Jarvis. Exactly. I was thinking. Look, clearly I'll wear anything. I'm wearing a shirt that says Dan Jones right now. I'll wear anything. I've shown you guys my Kirby shirt. I have so many ridiculous shirts. Real quick. This is my Best Buy shirt. I've never worked at Best Buy. I thrifted it. I wear this out. I've never worked at Best Buy. It's one of my favorite shirts. Why can't I just hold it up? One of my favorite shirts. Never worked at a Best Buy. I thrifted it. I have a Regal shirt. I have an Amazon shirt, which we're supposed to hate them. I have a Jimmy John's shirt, which is one of my favorites. I wear it so much people ask me if I work at Jimmy John's. I've never even eaten at Jimmy John's, but I like the shirt. It fits me well. No shame in thrifting shirts. You can find some real gems. And my favorite shirt that I was wearing before I put this guy on is my Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. I've got a shirt that says Pitbull on it, and it's badass. I definitely have some videos with me wearing it, so watch every single one of my videos if you haven't already. But anyways, in that case, can you not root for the Packers and Lions more often? Hey, you know what? Maybe. I'll start rooting for the Packers more. I've been seeing Gruden at Dart Eds. I told you Dart would start by the Saints game. I had 1 week off. Going to the game now. See his first career W, possibly. Goodwill has seen some good shit. Oh, yeah, for sure. No shame in Goodwill. And I always feel like a jackass because I check out with, like, the stupidest shirts. It'd be like a Regal shirt. Like, eat Subway sandwiches. And I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, I'll take this one. I got a couple Panthers shirts when I was an NC. Classic. There you go. Classic. I have looked so much for Giants shirts at Goodwill. It's only Chargers stuff because they have fake fans that turn in their shirts. All right. Let's talk about Jackson Dart. Listen. If you've been watching this stream for more than 2 weeks, you would know that I have been very anti-Jackson Dart starting at all this season. I've said on record many times that if it was up to me, we wouldn't see him all year. But I was wrong. I was wrong, okay? I'm never too man to admit when I'm wrong. And the fact of the matter is, I didn't think we would actually go 0-3. I really thought we were going to beat Washington. I was even more confident that we were going to beat Dallas. And I actually thought we had a chance against a beaten up Kansas City team. I really did. And the fact that we lost all 3 of those games, and all 3 of them, Russ looked bad. Russ just looked straight up bad. Let's be honest here. I changed my wallpaper. I don't know where my phone is. It's no longer Russ. He looked bad. Like, the first game against Washington, you can excuse. It was his first game, new team, O-line looked bad. Of course, we didn't score a touchdown, so that's not great. But you can excuse one bad game. Then he goes into Dallas and says, why not? Let's throw for 400 yards against Dallas. And you know what? If the Giants won that game, I don't think we would be talking about Jackson Dart starting right now today. But I also think the Giants would have won that game if Russell didn't throw the ball backwards and also throw the dumbest interception of the week. He ruined all goodwill he earned that game with those 2 absurdly bad plays in overtime. Talk about shrinking in the spotlight. It also doesn't help that Dallas has probably the worst defense in the NFL. And I don't say that hyperbolically. Caleb Williams just tore them up. He didn't even give him a chance. And he shouldn't. It's Dallas. They're not even good. They traded their best defensive player and their secondary is beat to all hell. I don't know if James is in here, but yeah. Respond to what you guys are saying really quick. I would have still started Jameis this game and given Dart the tune-up versus the Saints. I don't think so. Feels like a desperation move from Dable, but I hope it works out. Dart parlay, a Dart lay. 175 yards, 25 rush, 1 pass, 1 rushing touchdown. I like it. I like it. I would bet it, but I'm not in a betting state, and I'm also not in the financial state to make many bets, and especially when it comes to the Giants. Every time I bet on the Giants, they burn me. But what I will say is it does feel like a desperation move, and to be honest, it might be. It might be. It might be because Brian Dable, I am the biggest Brian Dable defender ever, but I watched the Chiefs game on stream, and I think you all saw me sour on Brian Dable in real time. Just the stupid nonsense he does. He hires stupid coordinators. He doesn't know what the hell to do with personnel. He bitches and complains about every flag that doesn't go our way. He calls stupid timeouts. He does dumb stuff all the time. And this supposed QB whisperer held back Dan Jones. Let's call a spade here. Let's call a spade here. Dan Jones, he credits his growth to Kevin O'Connell. So clearly Brian Dable's not this great QB developer, at least not at this point. And Brian Dable's put every bit of pressure he can on Jackson Dart. He has said, I love you, which, as someone who's terrified of commitment, that would freak me out. He has said, I need you. He said that on draft night. He's like, I need you to pull through. That's a lot. They allegedly spent 12 hours today, or Tuesday, 12 hours some point this week going over film, 12 straight. Dable feels the heat, and he should. He should. He's been coaching like a jackass for 3 seasons. And I'm really trying to give him time. I really don't want to rush Dart out there. But we're at a point where if Dart goes out there and doesn't play well, even if he does play well, Dable's still, his job is tight. It's tight. He has not done well. He has not made a lot of goodwill. I have been such a big Dable defender because I'm convinced that he is an asshole to the New York media, which incentivizes them to write smear pieces about him. But when you get to this point, when you're 0-3, when you can't seem to win over the locker room, and when one of your best players says he hates losing more than he loves winning, and you can't give that player wins, boy, that's going to piss me off. That's really going to piss me off. Neighbors doesn't like losing. Scattaboo doesn't like losing. The defense doesn't like losing. Well, who likes losing? We're at a point where the bar is competing with Dallas, not even winning. So while it is a desperation move, I think it's exactly what the Giants need. A jolt. A jolt, because we've changed the coach, we've changed the GM, we've built out the trenches, we've gotten weapons. Nothing seems to work because we can't figure out quarterback. And I am of the mindset that having a good offensive line is more important than having a quarterback. I know that's a hot take, but that's where I'm at right now, and my video this week will defend that a little bit more. But what I will say is that the Giants' O-line's not even playing that bad. even with Andrew Thomas playing a brave one whole half, I don't know if he's going to suit up this week. Even with that, the O-line's fine. The run game's fine. The receivers are good enough. Theo Johnson's not amazing, but he at least figured out how to catch the ball. The defense should look a lot better, except they're on the field the whole game. So, like, it's a desperation move, but damn it, we need some desperation. We're desperate. We're desperate. We're 0-3 with the toughest schedule in the NFL. And yes, okay, the easy take is, why didn't we just put him in for the Saints game? Because, like, honestly, may as well make him learn fast. May as well have Dart, like, really trial by fire. If he can go in there and just compete with the Chargers, just compete. That's going to be such a confidence booster. And if his confidence is really shot after one game, I've got news for you. He's not going to work as quarterback of the New York Giants. When I started watching this team and following the Giants, I really thought the whole New York media thing was way overblown, and that it's really not that big of a deal because the Giants play in Jersey. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. When Malik Neighbors frowns on the sideline, you get a story about it on First Take. Not in the New York Post, not on SNY, on First Take, on Fox, on the mainstream news stories. They're talking about the Giants, who haven't been good in 3 seasons. When you draw it even further, they've been good once in 10 years. So, like, I respond to what you guys are saying now, but just know that I'm excited to see Dart. And to be quite candid with you, if he sucks, who cares? Well, we lost a 3rd-round pick. Who cares, man? We lost a 2nd and a 3rd. Life goes on. If he sucks and a new coach comes in and it's not Lane Kiffin and it's not John Gruden, because I really do think it should be a defensive mind, to be honest with you. If it's not a coach that was going to work with Dart and we have to move off him after a year, so be it. I'm all for giving young quarterbacks time. But if this was a desperation pick from a regime that's under a lot of pressure and he looks bad, so be it. But if he can't compete against the Chargers at home, maybe he can beat the Saints. Maybe. Congratulations, buddy. But then I got the Eagles the week after. And the Giants are the Eagles' bitch. Let's be honest, at this point. I used to think that was the best rivalry in the NFL. And boy, the Eagles have proven that wrong. So, as much of me wants to let Dart develop and make sure he's good long term, another part of me is like, honestly, trial by fire. Let's find out. The game speed, he'll catch up to it. If the Chargers, who have no film on him, shut us out 40-0 and Dart throws 3 picks, his career's not over. But I don't think waiting one more week would have been such a difference. Anyways, let me respond to what you guys are saying, because Blake just said whoa, because he's an Eagles fan. Honestly, I have no idea how the season opener was so close. Cowboys are ass. Yeah, honestly. Mike Kafka and Shane Bowen suck. Completely agree, Brady. My coach telling me that I love you would make me think I'm getting cut. No, seriously. Seriously. Dable is getting desperate to keep his job. He knows he can't stay with Russ, so he's willing to ruin Dart's career for a chance at staying. What's the PFF grades looking for the O-line? Oh, yeah. So the PFF grades for O-line. So let's do that really quick, because I just got back onto my PFF account. Because I know you guys will. I know everybody in here will watch my video regardless. Oh my God. Hold on. Back to Dart. Hold on. Don't lock me out again, PFF. PFF does this thing where they lock you out of your account if you try and sign in on the mobile app. It's so stupid. Anyway, let's look at the O-line grades. I'm sure that, yeah, the Cardinals game has been updated. Oh, no, it hasn't, actually. Here we go. Best pass blocking lines, Broncos, Colts, Lions, Cardinals. Where are the Giants, right? 21st. Not great. Not amazing, but, like, not bottom of the league bad. Not bottom of the league bad, right? And then you go run blocking, right? Where are the Giants? 17. Middle of the road. Middle of the road. And this is not the final story, end all be all, but, like, especially in this last game against Kansas City, let's just go week 3, yeah? Oh, my God. Let's go week 3, if this will load, please. Yeah, regular. Can I just... Okay, wait, hold on. Why can't I just go singular week, PFF? What the hell? Oh, my God. I thought there was a way to go singular week. Oh, jeez. Hold on. Oh, my God. That's not going to work. That's just straight up not going to fly. Oh, well. Anyway, we tried it. The dream's dead. The dream's dead of watching one week. I know there's a way to get it to 1 week, but for some reason, PFF's not working with me. Point is that I thought the Giants pass pass blocking did fine in week 3. They did fine. And God is good. Or the worst ever after 1 week. No in between. Exactly. I don't really know what you mean by that, Lorenzo, but I agree. There's a world where Dable gets fired midseason. There is. There is a world. And I didn't want to acknowledge that because I think midseason coach firings are a complete waste of time. But clearly Dable's lost the locker room. Clearly he's not the QB whisperer. I'm sick of watching Giants be better on other teams. It's not just a Saquon thing. It's not just a Dan Jones thing. It's a common pattern. The thing no one talks about is how Xavier McKinney became an all-pro player on Green Bay. He's like the anchor to their defense. He was like fine on the Giants. He was like better than average on the Giants. He was good at best. And he became an all-pro player in Green Bay. You can't claim that you're some quarterback whisperer, some player's coach that can develop talent, and then have this stuff happen. Julian Love, another good pick. Leonard Williams. Granted, Leo is kind of a whole nother can of worms, but Julian Love, that's another great example. He almost picked off Kyler tonight. He should have. So as much as I want to give Dable credit because he was the coach of the year in 22 and the Giants did put up a hell of a fight, it was just very obvious that they didn't have enough juice to beat the Eagles that year, who went on to get in the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm more sad about McKinney than Saquon. And I want to say this really quick. I had this thought today about Joe Schoen, and you guys can tell me how you feel about it. I know we got a couple Giants fans in here. Joe Schoen is one of my more, I'd say, defended people within the Giants organization. Because a lot of times, Joe Schoen makes decisions that I would have made myself. Whether or not that's a good or bad thing is up to you, right? If a fan can even Sterling Shepard, exactly. And yet we pay Darius Slayton. I'm getting off track. Even Sterling Shepard, really good point. But what I was saying was, look, man, Joe Schoen has made a bunch of decisions that I would have made, right? I would have taken Evan Neal at 7. I would have taken Kayvon Thibodeau at 5. I would have taken, who else? Whoever the hell else he's drafted, Neighbors at 6. I get it, right? Shane has made a lot of good decisions. Adrian Peterson, welcome to the chat. Breece Hall versus Miami, Hampton versus NYG. Okay. Okay, let's do this really quick before I do my Joe Shane rant. Because I'm always down to answer fantasy questions. Adrian Peterson, that's funny. Start 2 flex Banks. Was Banks a Shane pick? Oh, yeah, he was. That whole draft class was brutal. Breece Hall, Hampton, Scatterbo, Dobbins. Hampton and Scat. Was offered JSN for Bucky, my squad. Jay Hurts. I like it. I would do it, but I would definitely want to move off Devonta Smith quick. It's a good team, though. It's a good team, but I think JSN, it seems like you're in a shallower league, Adrian, and if that's the case, I would do that. Just because, again, you're thinner at running back, but JSN's a league winner. I don't think Bucky is with all the injuries up front in Tampa. Take what I know with a grain of salt, though. How would you have felt if we didn't re-sign DJ after the playoff win? Exactly. We kind of had to pay him. We traded for Hyatt to not use him. Hyatt is a healthy scratch. Evan Neal's a healthy scratch. So it's kind of like either the coaches can't develop these players, which is not good, or the GM is not picking good players, which is also not good. It's the chicken or the egg. It's do the coaches not tell the players to 10 team? That's your team in a 10, man? That's sick. That's a good team. And I'm a big Olave guy, too. That's a good team. But yeah, I would definitely try and move off Devonta, but I like that move. I like that pick. Especially because you can get out. You don't have to start Ladd anymore. I like that a lot. I would do that for sure. It's the chicken or the egg. It's Giants can't tackle, but in fact, their tackling grade should be really low. It should be. Wow, this is too high. Way too high. That sucks. I completely disagree. The Giants can't open field tackle for anything. That's brutal. So, PFF's probably going to be pissed. I'm just screen sharing this, but whatever. It's not like they watch my videos. But it's the Giants can't tackle. So is it that Shane doesn't draft players that don't want to tackle? Or is it that the coaches don't teach them how to tackle? Should you have to teach an NFL player how to tackle? Not trying out Evan Neal at guard is complete incompetence. Exactly. Why is he a healthy scratch? Why is a top 10 pick a healthy scratch? And again, is the GM drafting bad players, or is the coach not knowing how to develop them? And Banks has effort issues. Banks has every issue in the book. I've liked all of Joe's first round picks. Right after we drafted him, I love JMS. Yeah. So it's like all these moves are moves I would have made. I was excited about the Hyatt pick. But at the end of the day, I'm not the GM for the New York Giants. It's up to him to make the right picks. Who gives a damn what CBS says or what Mel Kiper says? Who cares? If the players aren't good, then there's an issue. If you don't draft, like, you can get whatever draft score you want in April. Draft grades don't win games. Culture problem, losing culture. Well, how do you fix a culture problem? Do you have John Mara just, like, give up? Do you have John Mara and Steve Tisch just sell the team? How do you fix a losing culture? You move off the head coach. But people like to rip on Shane because of Hard Knocks, and I don't know. I don't know because he hasn't made a lot of bad moves. He's missed some draft picks, but so has everyone, right? Even Howie Roseman took Jalen Reagor. Tony was not a Shane pick. The Giants chose to pass on Micah Parsons, trade it out, let the Bears get Justin Fields, who would have been a good starter on the Giants probably, and or maybe not, knowing how the Giants work, and traded back and got Kadarius Toney. And then Shane traded Toney for a third-round pick, which we then used to get Darren Waller, another sick guy. Sometimes if it doesn't take an ownership change, but I don't know if we're there yet. It's just a damn shame, because it really is. What is the problem here? I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't know if John Mara is having daily meetings with Joe Shane, telling him what to do and what not to do. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Joe Shane is drafting good players, making calls, trading for Brian Burns, and then Brian Dable's just like, well, I don't know what the hell to do with these guys. Shane Bowen, you figure it out. And Shane Bowen still, he's like, is today Thursday? Oh my God, it's Thursday already? I slept in this week. I didn't even do a game plan. All right, guys, today we're doing Oklahoma drills at practice because I couldn't think of anything. Like, I'm a youth coach. I get it. Sometimes you don't draw up a plan. Sometimes you just have the kids play three flags up. But the stakes are a little higher with a $10 billion franchise than my flag football team, my youth flag team, right? Dan Jones was picked 6th, but that was Gettleman. And I saw a comment today, and I think it was like Rich Eisen or some big sports, it was Florio. It was Florio. Some guy, I'll probably pull it up. I'm pissed. I'm going to pull it up. Let's put this guy on blast really quick. Not Mike Florio. Let's put this on blast really quick, though. Pro Football Talk. Where is it? I better not get copyrighted here, NBC. I'm not even watching the video. Where is it? They're talking about Jay Dart. It's not this one. Oh, there's Phil Simms. Nope. Where is it? God damn it. They made like 9 videos about this. Oh, great. I'm never going to find it. I'm literally never going to find it. Yeah, well, you guys get it. Alright, I don't know which video it is, to be honest with you. I'm assuming it's this one. There's like 4 comments. Okay, whatever. I'm not finding it. Whatever. The dream's dead. The dream's dead. The point is, some guy commented, he was like, Joe Shane's the worst GM in Giants history. Like, worst GM in Giants history? He's not even the worst GM out of the last 2. Dave Gettleman was the dumbest guy on planet Earth. I thought last night, a really bad thought before prayer. I thought if I was in I'm going to say it. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take my channel down for this one. I'm going to take a chance. If I was in a room with Dave Gettleman, a gun, and a bullet, I would take the gun and I would shoot myself. That way I wouldn't have to be in a room with Dave Gettleman. That's how much I think he was an idiot. That's how much I hate this guy. And I mean that. The Dan Jones draft was such a funny roller coaster. Draft 2 first-round busts and also take Dex in the middle. Exactly. And the Giants paying Saquon would have been the wrong move. Exactly. Exactly. Apple, Baker, Banks. Exactly. We suck. We suck. We suck at drafting every position that has any kind of variance. Unless they're a blue chip prospect. That's the truth. I'm glad you guys thought my Dave Gettleman thing was funny. It's true. I thought about that and I was like, all right, well, time to pray before bed. It was an awkward moment, but I thought that last night. Dave Gettleman was the worst person on I literally, guys, I cannot tell you how much I hated this guy. How he basically said, no, I know more football than the fan base. I'm going to trade Odell Beckham Jr. and draft Dan Jones 6th overall. Gettleman is drafted better than Shane. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He didn't. He drafted Dexter Lawrence and gets a bunch of credit for that. He went 1 for 3 on first-round picks. He took Dan Jones 6th overall. He stumbled into Andrew Thomas. Sure. Mr. Healthy, Andrew Thomas. Nah. And by the way, Dave Gettleman drafted such little talent in the late rounds. Such nothings. If Dave Gettleman had a pick round 3 or later, we may as well have traded it away. Gettleman was awful across the board. He signed Kenny Golladay. He did a bunch of stupid nonsense. And that's why I'm like, a part of me wants to cut bait with Joe Shane. It was a reach. I remember that. I was like, what the hell? Tristan Wirfs is right there. Like, and say what you will, Tristan Wirfs, Mekhi Becton, whoever you like. Thomas was good, but like, let's be honest here. He wasn't good. So the bar is through the ground. And just because Joe Shane was on Hard Knocks doesn't mean that he should be punished because he was exposed for letting a running back walk. Could he have negotiated things better? Of course. Should he have not treated Saquon Barkley's contract like he was a restricted free agent and saying, will you give us a chance to match? It's like, that's not how the NFL works, buddy. But he was a first-year GM or second-year GM. Dude's a young buck. He's going to make some mistakes. And need I remind you that Eagles fans were calling for Howie Roseman's job relentlessly. And now he's the best GM in football. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Joe Shane, but I think he's made enough goodwill to where he doesn't have to be attached to Brian Daboll. Whether or not we keep Joe Shane is probably a whole different discussion. But I just don't want to see him go down with the ship. Because I think if I had to decide, and I'm not in the building, but if I had to decide who is the problem for not developing this blue chip talent, it's got to be Brian Daboll. It's got to be. Joe Shane is getting good player after good player, it feels like. Talent profiles, good prospects. And it's just, I don't think Marvin Harrison's a bust yet for you guys. He's just got to get his head in the game. I agree, but, that's a tall order, buddy. It's a tall order. Gettleman did not draft better than Shane. He pissed away 95% of our picks. Exactly. Willis and Wirfs are far and away better picks in that draft. Agreed. Josh Allen has ruined the NFL in too many ways, and the Giants franchise is included in that. Maybe Brian Daboll gets too much credit. Maybe Mike Kafka. Mike Kafka, dude, he must have literally just gotten Patrick Mahomes water. He must have done nothing. Because my whole thing was, with Jackson Dart, we have the guy who developed Josh Allen. We have the guy who developed Patrick Mahomes. We have Jameis, former #1 overall pick. Russ, Super Bowl winning quarterback. All this, and Tommy DeVito, who knows the playbook and is super cool. All of them in the same room. How could Dart be bad? And everything is falling apart in front of us in real time. And they're a package deal. They don't have to be, though. Just because they came in together doesn't mean they have to leave together. And Howie, welcome to the chat, Mr. Alternation. I like that name. Howie's been the best GM in football since 2016. Yeah, doesn't mean Eagles fans weren't pissed when he took Jalen Reagor. Doesn't mean Eagles fans weren't pissed when he traded away the pick that would have been Jamar Chase. His development convinced us Daboll was a QB whisperer. Exactly. Daboll's a great OC, but not a head coach. You did say that, Lorenzo. I remember that. I've thought about that a lot, actually. He needs to start as an OC somewhere. Would it be? Oh, come on, Otto. Cut us some slack, Jack. We're excited. Let a Giants fan be excited one time. Let a Giants fan who's wearing a Dan Jones t-shirt be excited for one week. One goddamn week. Because if Dart goes out there and lights it up against the Saints, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to be really excited. But yeah, bring in Doug Peterson. Now that's a solution. I do think you bring on a defensive-minded head coach and you bring on just a smart offensive coordinator. I know that's a tall ask, but someone's got to be able to work with this defense. I'm sick of the Giants being bad. Even if we're okay, even if we win 7 games, even at 7 games, man, maybe not this season. Give us 8 wins. I said this last stream. Dude, it must be so nice watching your team win football games. I literally don't even remember what it feels like. Because the last game the Giants won that I actually wanted them to was what? The Seahawks game last season in week 4? Almost a full year ago. Bring Belichick to the Giants. I don't know about all that. I know you guys aren't a fan of this. I don't hate Jesse Minter to the Giants. I don't hate it. I really don't. A defensive-minded head coach that's worked with Justin Herbert. Did you see the Falcons scapegoat their wide receiver coach for dropping an egg last week? I did not see that. Never heard of an assistant coach catching blame, but it is funny. That is funny. I'm sorry. I'm staring at this 37 for the Bengals. I'm wondering what it is. Run block. That tracks. Any Chase Brown owners out there, turn away. Turn away. Also, apparently the Pats O-line's not doing amazing run block. PFF doesn't tell the full story, though. Doesn't tell the full story. Mr. Alternation, what do you think of Brian Dable? I just did a whole thing. Long story short, I think it's his fault that the Giants suck. And I think that him being advertised as a QB whisperer is a complete sham. And as a Giants fan, I'm pissed. Saquon, Will Hernandez, BJ Hill, Dex, Love, Slayton, Thomas, McKinney, Aziz, all good draft. Okay, Will Hernandez sucked on the Giants. BJ Hill was not a big needle mover. Julian Love played better on another team. Darius Slayton was a 6th-round dart throw. Andrew Thomas, sure. Xavier McKinney, sure, I guess. Aziz was fine. Aziz was never like living up to the opportunities. Gettleman had like 6 or 7 years, and he got what, 5 good picks? Like, come on, bring back Ben McAdoo. Come on now. And that's what I mean. What I say about, like, I wanted to give Dable the benefit of the doubt. Like, I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but, like, nah, man. The bar shouldn't be Joe Judge. The bar should not be Pat Shurmur or Ben McAdoo. The bar should be a winning organization. We're the goddamn New York Giants. This is the most, like, this is what, top 5 most valuable franchise in the NFL that's accomplished nothing in the past 20 years. I mean, 20 years. 10 years. The Super Bowl in 2011 counts. By the way, I'm going to talk about this in my O-line video. Check that out. By the way, if you're just here for the streams, I make videos too. They're really good. Get a look at this. 2011, the year the Giants won the Super Bowl. Guess who had the worst graded passing block in the NFL? Bang! Worst in the NFL. Even when the Giants were good, they were bad. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. They sucked on the Giants just like Shane's picks outside of Neighbors. Come on, man. Dude, come on. The 2023 class has been solid. Micah McFadden. Golly, I'm blanking on names. The 2023 class was good. Come on. Or no, or was it 24? Hold on. I do love talking about the Giants, if you guys can't tell. Oh, no, this is the bad one. My bad. No, this one's gross. This one I'll give you. This one sucks. Oh, my God. Nightmares. Look away. Look away. Was it 22? Or was it 24? I think it was 24. Yeah, it was 24. This is not a bad class. Hold on. Let me open a new tab. I know it's small. This is not a bad class. As far as I see it, this is 5 starters. And Masau's playing. So, like, 5.5. As far as I see it, this is a pretty good class. Hate it or love it. Shane got to his spot. And I really like what the Giants did in this draft. So, hate it or love it, I'm kind of a fan. Right? Bring in Rex Ryan. The Giants become the Jets. Don't bring in Rex Ryan. Don't bring in Rex Ryan. And yes, Mahi, I do agree. McKinney did fall in his lap. I love the debate we've started in here. I do like Jarvis just completely fighting every response. Can't draft a running back at 2 when the O-line was that bad. Exactly. Joe Shane hasn't even reached Gettleman's bar is my point. But what bar? Let's go through some Dave Gettleman drafts. Because let's go here. Let's go 2019, right? 2019. Holy hell. Just a bunch of nothing. Just a whole lot of nothing, bro. We had 3 first-round picks and got 1 starter. O'Shane Zimini sucked. Julian Love was fine. He was fine. He's better on the Seahawks. Darius Slayton, I guess. Probably shouldn't have paid him. That's 2019. Okay, what about 2020? And it does go back further. I'm forgetting what Gettleman's first year was. 2020. Let's look at it. Let's look at it, right? McKinney, yeah, again, fell to their lap. How hard could it be picking a safety at the top of round 2? Matt Pert sucked. Darnay Holmes was tough to watch. Lemieux did nothing. Carter Coughlin sucked. Tay Crowder was fine for like a game. Like, he was good for like a game. 21, I think this was Gettleman's last draft. I mean, my God. Guys. What are we talking about here? My God, he does not get credit for Azeez Ojulari, who fell out of the first round. We got 5 unplayable people here. 5 unplayable people here. 2018 was his first year. Let's do it. 2018 New York Giants draft class, right? Yeah, it was. And I'll never forgive him for trading Odell Beckham. I've opened some. What the hell? What? Come on. Really? Okay. Hold on. Let's find a different graphic. This is the Will Hernandez year. Okay, wait, here we go. Saquon, we had what? I wouldn't put it past Gettleman to have no 6th or 7th picks. Laletta was complete waste. I don't even know why we picked him. BJ Hill was fine, I guess. Lorenzo Carter was, again, not great. Will Hernandez sucked. And Saquon Barkley was a generational prospect we took 2nd overall. So, 2018. There you go. They got 2 Slaytons that year. I'm not sure what you mean, but yeah, something like that. So if you go through it, it's like, this was awful. This was awful, right? So I'm not saying Shane gets a bunch of credit. Close that one out. I'm not saying Shane gets a bunch of credit because 2023 was a disaster as well. 2023 draft class, this is a travesty, right? This isn't New York football. This is a disaster, no doubt. But the ideas were there, right? You shore up the secondary, and this is when the Giants were picking late too, mind you. This is when the Giants were picking pretty late in the draft. So I'm just saying. I feel like our points are made. Start 20. Kadarius Toney was good till he wasn't. Kadarius Toney was good for 1 game. We got 1 game. We got 1 good game out of Kadarius Toney. Let's not overreach. We got 1 good game. So, look, I admire your fire, Jarv. I do. I admire it. And I respect that you were able to go again. 2019 Giants were the worst draft class I might have ever seen. I completely agree. 22 and 23 were bad. 24 and 25 are good. Jury's still out. Dexter and Slayton, 2019 class was horrible. Exactly. I don't think we need to trade up for Hyatt. Maybe not. But it's a 3rd round move up. Are we going to nitpick getting the Bolitnikov winner? I was really excited about that pick. I'm like, oh, we got a field stretcher? And I thought JMS was a good pick. That's what I mean. At the time, if you were following the draft, this is a good group. It's a good group. I'm not going to sit here and I knew a lot about Trey Hawkins. It's a good group, though. I think the 25 class is pretty solid. Could be worse. Exactly. Quisis. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming that's the Vikings GM. But, yeah, man. 1 good game versus Diggs, who wasn't known for elite coverage at the time. I get it, right? Look, I'll finish what I was going to say. Jarvis, I respect your fire and your opinion, but I think you're wrong on this one, pal. Giants fan to a Giants fan. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if the bar is winning games and having a really good GM, then no, Joe Shane hasn't met that. But if the bar is better than Gettleman, Shane cleared that within 2 seasons. So, thought the Giants had won the draft in 23. And I do agree. I think O-line and I think everything is more coaching dependent. And I agree, O-line is more coaching dependent than anything, right? But I think how you develop players is so much more important than how they play in college. So the fact that Shane keeps giving these guys to Brian Dable and he's wasting them. He's wasting them, man. He is. I love Hyatt. No, it's easy to love Hyatt. He never gives you a chance to hate him because he's never on the field. Why Hyatt is a healthy scratch? Why Hyatt is a healthy scratch all the time? I don't know. He did not clear. It's debatable. Clearly, it's debatable. But I think we're I don't think it's very. I don't think it is, honestly. I don't think it is. Let's order all these by year. What is this? Okay, this is 23, 21, 20. Oh my God, that actually worked out. 2019, 2018. Look at this. Okay, this honestly, in hindsight, gets a D. C- at best. Probably a D though. Probably a D plus. Genuinely, it probably gets a D plus. We got 1 good player, and it was the generational running back that we probably overdrafted and didn't re-sign to a 2nd contract. This, what, a C? A C at best? Are you kidding me? We had 10 picks, and we got 3 starters out of it. 10 picks, 3 in the first round. 10 picks. Then we have this, right? 2020. Good first 2 picks. What is this? A C plus? A B minus? Maybe a B because Andrew Thomas is good? But no late round value. That's what I'm saying. Dave Gettleman may as well lit the picks on fire. 21, my God. They just want to rip my eyes out. And again, 20, it can't get forgotten that he passed on Micah Parsons to trade back. The Giants were not picking 20 because they were a good team. The Giants were picking 20 because they moved back and let the Bears take a quarterback and passed on Micah Parsons. So then we get here and it's yeah, maybe Deontay Banks isn't amazing. Wait, was this a Gettleman draft? I think, was this Gettleman's last draft or was this Shane? I think this was Shane, right? This was Shane's first, yeah. So we go here, right, and it's like, yeah, Deonte Banks sucks. This draft class is a disaster. This draft class gets like a D+, right? At best. Maybe even a D-. Maybe a D-, genuinely. And that might be overselling it. A D-. The only reason it doesn't get an F is because JMS is technically a starter. He sucks, but he's technically a starter. And I think, yeah, 20. Okay, I skipped 22, I think I skipped 22. That was the one I'm missing. Okay, this was Shane's first draft. I completely bricked on this one. Okay, and where does this go? 2020. Okay, here we go. Right? There's no pick on here that I wouldn't have taken. Ezidu was not great. Ezidu, whatever. But flawed as a starter at this point. Bellinger is still on the field. Dane Belton is a starter. Micah McFadden was a starter. DJ Davidson is a starter. Yes, KT and Evan Neal haven't lived up to expectations, but those were really good picks at the time. I remember both of them were projected to go #1 overall at different points, and the Giants got both of them. I was thrilled about this draft. Shane doesn't get credit for winning on paper, but damn it, he shouldn't get penalized for it. The idea was right there. The idea was right. Had 20 picks in 2019 and 2020, and they got 5 starters. Exactly. I need this staff to get away from Bo as soon as possible. He does have starter potential. Refuse to believe Evan Neal went from elite to unplayable simply because he overnight decided to suck. Exactly. It's a coaching issue. John Lee, wait, Kwesi was good at drafting. Yeah. Wandale was a reach. KT's a decent player, but he's just behind Abdul and Burns. Yeah, like, he's fine. He hasn't lived up to expectation, but he's fine. I'd give this draft like a solid B+. A solid B+. Like, out of everything we've seen, this is better than anything Gettleman did. Far and away. I felt like I was being a little generous with, like, the B here, or wherever I put it. Yeah, I think I was being a little generous with the B here. This smokes 2020. Okay, then we have 22, right? We have 22 when the Giants did better. Giants didn't screw up the first round right after the draft. Exactly. This felt good on paper. It didn't work out, but it's better than Gettleman. It's better than Gettleman's 2020, 2021. It's better than this class. This is probably the worst draft class I've seen in a while. Oh my God. Aziz was barely a starter, okay? Then we have 23, not great. But 24. This is probably the best draft class the Giants have had in a decade. These are all starters, basically. All of them are playing on the team. Granted, it was a year ago, but they're all on the team. And then is this 25? No, that's Will Levis. That's Will Levis. And 2025, the jury's still out. But this isn't a bad room. This isn't bad. Generational talent. You trade up and get your QB. Darius Alexander made sense. We love Scat. Marcus and Bo has upside. I think Fedoni should be getting way more work. And Corey Black got hurt in the preseason. How is coaching the problem for Shane and not Gettleman? Because Gettleman's not making good moves. Gettleman put a bunch of money towards a bunch of random free agents like Kenny Golladay. Yeah, coaching's been awful across the board. I don't disagree. But, like, at a certain point, if we're just going by drafts, I don't think it's very close. And we've all said in this chat that Gettleman was an idiot in free agency. Gettleman made a bunch of stupid moves in free agency. He's old school. And he traded OBJ. Do we not hate Gettleman for trading OBJ? I do. You know? That's what Hertz was talking about taking BPA. Yeah, best player available. That's what hurts about taking best player available. I agree. I thought you were talking about Jalen Hurts. I bricked. But yeah, best player available. Sometimes you gotta sit and let the board fall to you. Gettleman I think he had 3 coaching staffs. Or no, Shermer. No, never mind. Reese had the last one. Yeah. Reese had one after Coughlin. So it's like, right, they were good on other teams. I agree. And it's a coaching issue, but like, let's not act like it's a whole thing. Just because Julian Love was good on another team. Like, it's not even looking at it in retrospect. Even at the time, Gettleman's decision were head scratches. Exactly. He had the Shermer and Judge regime. Not saying that they were great, but at least give Shane a chance with another staff to compare. I agree. Jarv, I agree. And I've said I'll hate him forever for trading OBJ. I agree. I agree. Like, his picks are understandable. Like, you know? So, like, we don't have to go too much deeper into this. I think we've beaten this topic to death at this point. But I say all this because people who don't watch Giants football say that Shane is the worst GM in Giants history. They say that he needs to get fired because he came in with Brian Daboll, and I just disagree. I think you need to give a GM way more time. Because when you think about it from a wider scope, right? Most of the time, a GM has never been a GM before, unless you're Dave Gettleman, in which case his moves are even less excusable. But Shane has never been a GM before. And there's more of a jump from assistant GM to GM, right? Than I would say assistant coach to head coach. Not to say being a head coach is easy, but I think there's a much smaller learning curve there. And that's why coaches go a lot quicker than GMs. I don't think that's a hot take. So when you look at it, it's like, I wouldn't be mad at giving Shane another shot. Again, I hated Dave Gettleman. I called for his job so frequently, and I was singing my praise when they finally listened to me. And let's not forget, Shane also, Gettleman also, probably played a big role in hiring Pat Shurmur and in hiring Joe Judge. And even in the moment, that's what gets me most about Dave Gettleman. It's one thing to make a good decision in the moment and it not to pan out. It's another thing to make a stupid decision, defend it, and then be wrong. If you're wrong on paper and in practice, you lose double points in my book. No one thought the Joe Judge hiring was good. And no one thought Joe Judge bringing on Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator was good. No one thought that. No one thought this is a slam dunk. No one thought that. And I know Shane didn't exactly hire Daboll, but they came in together. Clearly they had some sort of communication together. I just don't think the jury's out on Shane yet. So if the New York Giants are listening, if Steve Tisch and John Mara are watching this stream, give Joe Shane a shot. Give him a shot. Because good GMs are hard to come by, and especially young GMs. You can't just fire guys when they come in with a bad coach. That's all I'm saying. Welcome to the chat, Brian. Oh yeah, cards aren't cooked. Giants will be on Sunday. Come on now. Shane is ass. Yeah, Shane Bowen, not Joe Shane. We have Tommy 10 years. It was ass past the third round. Yeah, whatever. Disagree. I think Shane and Daboll are a package deal. You pay the GM and the coach. I disagree. I very disagree. Dave was a low bar. How many coaches has Howie had? Probably 3 or 4. Comparing GM and coach is just a code people buy into. I completely agree. Giants fan 10, aka DSP Snort. I'm just gonna say Snort from here on out. Patriots had a historic 2019 special teams unit. They thought they were getting the next Harbaugh with Judge. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, historic special teams unit. One of my most frustrating football cliches. This is the most high school, old school coach thing ever. Special teams wins games. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I played tackle football in high school for 3 weeks, and then I realized I'm not going to get my head bashed in just to sit on the bench, and which is not one of my proudest stories, but quitting week 1 into hell week. But I quit before it even started. But I met with the special teams coordinator. He's like, special teams wins games. No, it doesn't. It helps. You don't want to have a bad special teams, but it doesn't win you games. Having a good punt return doesn't win you games. At least not in a long term. That's such an old school, just stupid, head coaching, I don't know, whatever. Just, it's a stupid whatever. That's what it is. Pisses me off. People were hyped for Joe Judge after that first press conference. I remember the switch. Wasn't quick. It's ideal, of course, isn't necessary. Daboll won Coach of the Year. Shane's never won GM of the Year. Come on. That's a whole different thing. And I completely agree. Special teams don't win you games. They can lose you games. I was drinking the Judge Kool-Aid. I thought the 2020 team was so abysmal that 6 wins felt like a coaching masterclass. Yeah, that was a really fun year. 6 wins when the NFC East was a complete train wreck. Notice how every team from the NFC East has gotten better from that besides the Giants. Even though the Giants were going into that the worst team. I know, the Giants would have been a 6-win playoff team. And then Dave Gettleman's like, you know what? We're good. We don't need a quarterback. We're good. We almost made the playoffs on 6 wins. Let's draft Kadarius Toney. Which, again, I liked the pick at the time. But that's the kind of thing, if you've heard Kadarius Toney talk once or seen him on the field, I can't imagine he interviewed well. I can't imagine that draft interview went well. I can't imagine it. I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know this for sure. I'm sure someone could look it up, but you don't have to. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants didn't even meet with Kadarius Toney before they took him 20. I'm sure they were like, this guy's good. He's fun at Florida. Could be like a Percy Harvin type. Remember Percy Harvin? Oh my God. That was so fun. Percy Harvin in Minnesota. John knows what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Anyways, I like how we got to talking about the Giants. But yeah, so in a way, like the 2021 class was, I agree, it was pretty brutal. But in a way, you kind of have like, Dart might suck. He might. Like, let's be honest. Dart might get his teeth punched in this Sunday. Of course, you know what I've realized, and I should have said this so much earlier. I don't know why. I'm gonna stream this Sunday, by the way. I'm gonna stream through the Giants game. So if you want to watch me react to Jackson Dart in real time, tune into this channel at 10 o'clock West or 1 o'clock Eastern. I nailed that. 1 o'clock Eastern. I will be streaming during the games. I hate doing that because I feel super distracted, but you guys need to see. We need to watch this together live. We need to see if this is going to work or not. We need to find out. All right. I don't want to dominate your Sunday. You don't have to pop in if you don't want to, but if Dart throws a pick and you got something to say, I will be here. Damn it. It's a one of, I know I said last week the Chiefs thing was a 1 of 1 thing. This is a 2 of 2 thing. Streaming Jackson Dart's first game is very important to me. I was so wrong on Tony and Pitts. Trask was such a bad QB in college they carried him. I completely agreed. Completely agreed. And Percy Harvin was a beast, damn it. Probably the only time Giants met was Tony was at the Super Bowl, Senior Bowl. I believe it. I completely believe it. That's the kind of stupid bullshit Dave Gettleman did. Yeah, Brian Castle can join live. Yeah, I might do an open Discord line. I might do it. If I can figure out how to plug that in. I'm sure it can't be hard. Just put my Discord in the chat or something. But should I make a Discord server? Would that be worth? Would that be funny? I know a lot of YouTubers make Discord servers, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'm too small for that. Anyways, but I will be streaming live. So any Giants fans or any non-Giants fans that want to experience this together, I will be here in this uncomfortable chair behind the green screen that I figured out, watching the Giants play the Chargers. Watching the Giants beat the Chargers, damn it. But anyways, I think we've beaten the Giants topic to death. I think Jackson Dart will play fine, but if he doesn't, I don't think that gives us reason to fire Joe Shane. It does give us reason to fire Brian Dable, though. Is it a desperation play? For sure. But the Giants need some desperation. Hell yeah, Discord would be fun. I'm going to make it then. I'm going to figure out how to make it, and I'll have it ready next stream. I'll write that down. Write that down. God, this is going to be a busy weekend for me, fellas. I'm going to try and get my video done by Saturday. Haven't even filmed it. So let's see. Discord server. Yeah. I wrote Discord server on a post-it. That's really going to help me. Justin Herbert is due for a bad game. We all know it. All right. DraftKings Sportsbook. Here we go. NFL odds. Let's do our picks, yeah? Let's do our picks. And this time I'm going to click on these in real time. That way we can keep the Hunna Parlay live and I can remember what I actually picked. Okay? So if anybody has any last-second Giants things, I will obviously respond to that as Giants take precedent as top dog. But we will be picking with the spread. This is the Hunna Parlay. Last week we went 9-7 with our picks. Felt a lot better. We picked the Browns to cover against the Packers. They won outright. Might be able to show clips on the Discord. That's a good point. That's a great point. I like that. We're building something here. All right. By the way, drop a like if you haven't already. Forgot to say that, but drop a like if you haven't already. It helps the channel a lot. I know everybody in here is probably already subscribed, but drop a like if you forgot. Really appreciate it. All right. First game. Vikings-Steelers. Now, let me come out and say this. If I, gun to my head, had to bet on something in this game, I'm going right here. I'm going the under. The game is in Germany. International games are such a slog. Like, nothing fun is about them. The turf and grass is weird. Give me an example of a GM getting 2 chances to pick the coach and it worked out. I honestly couldn't give you an example. I mean, I guess Howie Roseman, off the top of my head. Howie Roseman worked out. They went from Peterson to, Sirianni, and he's not my favorite, but like they did win a Super Bowl, so I guess you would call that working out. That's off the dome. So there you go. I feel like the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings GM is new. So like, there you go. Howie twice. I don't think the Vikings GM is new. So bringing in KOC. And then another one that comes to my mind is if you want to say Shane Steichen's the answer and the Colts thing is for real, there you go. Again, it's an outlier, but you may as well try it. It's not like there won't be GMs to get a shot in a year. Give Shane another year. That's all I'm saying. Give Shane one more year. I think he drafts well, and I really like the Brian Burns trade more than anything. Anyways, under 40.5 is what I would like here. but I'm here to pick the games, right? I think chips down. I think the Vikings defense is really good. I really do. And I think they're better than 2.5 points against Pittsburgh. Especially in a game like this. I genuinely think a really good start, if for some reason they're on waivers or they're on your team, right? We will see with Ryan Poles. We will see with John Schneider. Exactly. I think genuinely the Vikings defense is stout. It's really good. So if you have their defense, I would play them. I wouldn't be surprised genuinely if the Vikings defense outscored the Vikings offense. It's an international game. The Vikings defense is really good. And, it's Brian Flores. When in doubt, trust in Brian Flores. I'm going Vikings -2.5. I completely agree. Brian Flores is going to destroy A-Rod. Chargers, Giants. Come on. Come on. Like, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. The Giants are at home. This is the best pass rush the Chargers have played. That's right. And genuinely, this might be the spark. Look, the Chargers don't have John Lynch, another one. There you go. The Chargers haven't faced this defensive buzzsaw, and the Chargers don't have any film on Jackson Dart. It could be a blowout, but I think 6 points at home is about perfect. If I weren't a Giants fan, I probably wouldn't pick this, but damn it, I am. And I told you guys this at the beginning of the season. The Giants could be 0-16. I'm taking them in week 17. And that's just the way it's going to be. Giants +6. Giants to win outright. Let's do it. Giants to win outright. But for now, we'll go +6 for the sake of the picks. Browns, Lions. Let me respond to the chat really quick. Shanahan was hired in 2017. John Lynch. There you go. Okay, maybe not. Want to pick up Vikings defense for fantasy, but I have Green Bay versus Dallas. I would still go Vikings. I would strongly go Vikings. But that's just me. I think Dallas is going to lose for sure, but I think Dallas will compete. Dallas is going to be pissed off. Jerry's probably going to, juice them up. Jerry's going to put something in the Gatorade, and it's going to fire everyone up. I wish the Giants spread was 7.5. 6 is kind of low, to be honest. A 3-0 team versus 0-3 might be a trap game. But again, the Giants are at home. Jason Light had Brady Baker resurgence. Exactly. All right. Browns, Lions. It's a tough one. Lions are kind of due for a bad game. Browns are better than people think. But I think the Browns got their magic already. I think the Browns got what they want. I think the Lions are going to be able to throw all over the Browns. They might not be able to run it super well. But I like the Lions. I normally don't like picking a 10-point favorite. But the game's in Detroit. I think this will be a fun one. Or it won't be. It might not be a fun one. There's a very real chance. But I think if it is a fun one, the Lions will win by 10. If you disagree with any of these picks, by the way, please sound off in the comments. But I'm not going to change them just because someone sounds off. Dallas with no CD and Parsons revenge game. Yeah, but I just think Dallas is going to compete. I'm a George Pickens fantasy player, so, that's me. Les Need went from Fisher to McVay, too. There are a few examples. There we go. I'm sure there are examples, yeah. The GM typically lasts longer than the coach. That's what I'm saying. All right. Eagles, Bucks. I'm going Eagles. I'm going Eagles for the simple fact, and I don't know if Blake's still in here. Bucks upset here. I don't think the Eagles are 6.5 points better than Tampa. But what gets me about Tampa is their offensive line is still so beat up. And that's not going to change. And my major thesis of the week, chains out, I guess. My major thesis of the week is that good O-lines win games. And the Tampa just doesn't have one because they're so hurt. And I think the Eagles are going to work with that. I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if this game was close through 3 quarters and then the Eagles score some garbage time touchdown to kind of blow it open a little bit and kill the spread. But I like the Eagles with the spread here. I totally get if you like Tampa, but I think the O-line is going to hold them back. Really curious to see how the Eagles O-line does. Wirfs is back? Oh, well, hold on. Hold on. I still think they're thin, but Wirfs is back? Is Wirfs practicing? Come on. Full practice. Well, hold on now. Hold on. Oh, my God. Every time CBS. Well, if Wirfs plays, that's kind of a game changer. They still are down 2 interior guys, though, right? They're still down 2 interior guys. They were like gone for a while. Yeah, they're... And Godwin practices in full. God damn. Apparently Luke Haggard, everyone's favorite, had a good game. In Tampa. I said I wasn't going to change my mind, but you are kind of convincing me a little bit, Mahi. I was going to pull up the injury report. I couldn't find it. Okay, fine. Well, let's look up injury report. I guess I didn't give it a good look. Let's go here. Bucks injury report. My God. Okay, let's... God, see, this is why I don't like pulling up these team websites. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Charlie Heck, limited. He'll probably play. Wirfs will probably play. Baker's definitely going to play. Levante David's probably good to go. Evans is out. Wait, so, okay. Godwin had a full practice, didn't practice today. That's weird. But if Charlie Heck is going to play and Tristan Wirfs, I don't even know if Charlie Heck's the starter. I'm assuming. What else are we looking at? Eagles do look a little beat up, but looks like Lane Johnson's going to play. I don't even think it would matter if Adoree Jackson played. He sucks. Zach Bond, limited practice. He'll probably play, I'm assuming. Maybe not. Iowa plus 3.5. Rams would have covered, but the last week field goal blocked to blow it. I agree. This pick got a lot tougher. I got to move on. I'm going to stick with my gut and go with the Eagles. I do think Tristan Wirfs coming back makes it interesting, but I do think 3.5 is a good chunk. The Eagles are kind of inevitable. I'm going Eagles. Hate it, but going for it. Saints plus 15.5 against Buffalo in Buffalo. God, 15 points is so much. 15 points is so much. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That is insane. And because of that, I obviously don't think the Saints are going to win. And this is the kind of game the Bills destroy the Saints. And I really hope the Bills destroy the Saints because I'm starting James Cook. 15 is too much for me. I don't care that it's in Buffalo. 15 at 10 o'clock, you're going to look up and you're going to be like, holy shit, the Saints are almost in this game. I'm going Saints plus 15.5. I feel like I'm going to regret that one, but why not? We're going Saints with the spread. Far from a lock. Don't feel confident about it at all. Speaking of games I don't feel confident about. Commanders, Falcons. God damn, I don't like either of these teams. Michael Penix is everyone's hate quarterback of the week. The Commanders just aren't that great, let's be honest. They're just not. I think the Commanders are one of the more overvalued teams. One thing I'll say about the Falcons is in my offensive line research, they do come up pretty well, even without Caleb McGarry playing. And I think the Falcons are going to be able to run the ball early. It might be a big Bijan game. And because of that, I'm going Atlanta. There could be some injuries I don't know about. But at the moment, especially with Terry McLaurin, looks like he's not going to play. He didn't practice today. Buffalo defense hasn't been impressive. Saints can backdoor cover. I agree. Give me the commies. Penix looks really bad. That's fair. I think Penix is due for a bounce back. I think the Falcons are well coached. I think they have a good defense. And I think they're at home. I'm going Falcons with the spread. Don't love it. But I will tell you a game I do like. This is going to sound crazy. Because, again, how many times have I talked about this take? My take that the Titans are going to lose every game. I think that ends this week. I think that ends this week. I like the Titans to win outright. I'm not going to say the Houston Texans Laramie Tunsil thing. I've said that before. I think the Texans are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. I think they're going to be picking top 10. I think CJ Stroud, granted he's got no time, but isn't doing much with his opportunity in year 2 and year 3. I also think the Titans are better than Vegas thinks. I don't care that the game's in Houston. That home field means almost nothing to me in the AFC South. Jaden is back. He's going to beat the Falcons. I think they're not as bad as they looked. Disagree. They're well coached. Don't love Morris. I like Morris. I like Morris a lot. I'm rolling with it, Jarv. If the Texans lose, they are cooked. I agree. I agree. By the way, if I don't respond to something you say in the chat, sometimes my OBS chat doesn't say, like, everyone's response, but I see it over me. So this chat is more consistent than the chat I'm reading usually. So just know if I don't see it, it's not my fault. Houston starting 0-4 feels like a stretch. I feel like they're bad, but I don't know if they're going to bottom out already. I think they are. And even if they aren't, I think 7 points is way too much for a division rival with a good defense. So there you go. There you go. Plus, I am the Cam Ward hater, so let's go Houston. Fair enough. I was the Cam Ward hater, and he definitely plays like a rookie. He's holding onto the ball for way too long. He's turning it over. But I like Io Manor, damn it. I like Io Manor. Shout out Jarvis. He's like my favorite player now. Panthers-Patriots. I like the Patriots with the spread here. I like the Patriots with the spread here. I think it depends on one thing and one thing only. Well, it depends on a few things. I think the Patriots will win regardless, but it looks like Christian Gonzalez is going to play. I think they're going to lock down the Panthers. And Bryce Young is terrible. Bryce Young is so bad. It's more than a quarterback game, but I don't think the Panthers are going to be able to do anything. The Pats haven't looked great, but 5.5 at home. I think the Patriots are much better than two. They're much better than 2.5 points on a neutral field. Cam Ward does look fun, damn it. He doesn't look good, but he looks fun. He can let it rip. He has some good highlight throws. I honestly would say, genuinely, I'm really confident in these two games. I think the Titans will cover, and I think the Patriots will cover. Pretty handedly. I do. Colts, Rams. Do I need to say anything else about Pats, Panthers? I think Trey Van Henderson's going to have a good game. Maybe I'm just speaking that into existence. Panthers have no chance. I love the confidence, Mahi. I love it. Go Pats. Colts, Rams. I know you want me to do it. I know you want me to say it. I know you want me to give up and say that Dan Jones is a dark horse MVP candidate. And if he wins this game, I will full on buy into it and drink the Kool-Aid. However, who has a better week, Ward or Dart? Come on. Dart. Not even close. Not even close. Even though I do think Ward has a much better matchup. Ride with him, Hunter. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm looking at the shirt. I'm smelling the shirt. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid just yet. I picked the wrong thing. I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams are much better than 3.5 at home. To say the Rams and the Colts are the same team on an even playing field is ridiculous. The Colts have a really good O-line, but I don't think it's going to matter. The Rams are pissed off. They totally should have beat the Eagles last week. The Colts have definitely overperformed a little bit. I'm going to die on this hill. If the Rams lose this one, if the Colts pull it out and Dan Jones looks good and wins the game, the Colts are going to the Super Bowl. Colts are going to the Super Bowl. If Dan Jones can beat this Rams defense, they're good. They're officially good. And I still think the Colts are going to win the South. I do. I really do. Dart has a better week than DJ. You could ask me who has a better week, Lamar or Dart. I'm going Dart. Dart's going to be the QB1 this week. Dart's going to be the greatest quarterback in NFL history. I'm fully buying the delusion. Okay? I like the Rams here. This feels a little bit like a trap game. I like the Rams. Why not? I also like the Niners a lot. I cannot believe how this line looks. Purdy coming back. Yeah, Nick Bosa's gone. The Purdy coming back. Is Juwan Jennings going to play? Let's look that up. Is Juwan Jennings going to play? I should probably just look at the Yahoo thing, but let's see. Because we know Purdy's back. Nick Bosa's out, obviously. God, the Niners have a lot of injuries. My God. Okay, well, Christian McCaffrey's non-injury related rest. Pearsall got a limited practice. I'm assuming he'll play. Juwan Jennings didn't. Okay, so Juwan Jennings is for sure out. And I agree. The defense and roster do look legit. I agree. I think you're talking about the Colts. I do agree. It's not just a Dan Jones thing. And I think that's why this line is so close. But I still like the Rams at home. Like 3 points is the home difference. I don't think the Rams are a half point better than the Colts on neutral field. I don't. But hey, that's just me. I think the Rams are really good. I do. And their O-line's pretty stout as well. Not to say the Colts O-line is bad. Love the optimism. Dart definitely has given the season new life. Exactly, until he doesn't. I do think Niners, Jags, even without Juwan Jennings, looks like Pearsall's going to play. I hope this is a boom week for Brian Thomas because I might play him. If Gons plays, I'm sitting Ted McMillan, which sounds pretty crazy and stupid, but I don't care. I refuse to hitch my wagon to Bryce Young. I think it's a big comeback week for Brian Thomas. I also think the Niners are going to beat the Jags by a lot. At home, smash. Feels a little bit like a trap game. Don't care. Going with it. Ravens, Chiefs. Ravens. I'm sick of the Chiefs. I'm mad at the Chiefs. I'm mad at the Chiefs for beating the Giants. I don't know if you guys have seen that video or not. I think it's Mark Gastineau. I think that's his name. With Brett Favre. And he walks up to Brett Favre at some like card trading event. And he's like, you hurt me, Brett. You hurt me by taking that Michael Strahan sack. As if Michael Strahan wasn't going to tackle Brett Favre there. He's like, you hurt me, Brett. Let me pull that up, actually. This is worth watching. Where is it? Okay, wait. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, we'll just watch the short. Hold on. This is such a funny video. Let me pause the music really quick, because I don't want to turn this up too loud. Jeez. It got very ethereal very quickly. All right. Here we go. Here we go. As you can see, I misspelled Brett. Who cares? All right.
Time ago, at least I saw you.
Look at this.
Right. How you doing?
When you fell down for him.
This is how I feel about the Chiefs, by the way.
I'm going to get my sack back. I'm going to get my sack back, dude.
You probably would hurt me.
Well, I don't care. You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You really hurt me. You hurt me, Brett.
I gotta get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
Is that not the most uncomfortable video you've ever watched in your whole life? I couldn't believe ESPN aired this. I couldn't believe this.
Right.
One more time.
You fell down for him.
Mahi's preparing for some Chiefs magic. I don't care. The Chiefs are the Ravens are the regular season team. I will die on this hill.
Well, I don't care. You hurt me. You hurt me. You hear me?
Yeah.
Hurt me, Brett.
You really hurt me. You hurt me, Brett.
We gotta get back to this, Brett. I'm sorry.
That's how I feel. That's how the Chiefs make me feel. I'm going Ravens. Don't care. Oh, for sure, bro. SCT. Come on. Yeah, for certain. For certain. Back to the ethereal jungle music. Anyway. But I still like the Ravens, even in Kansas City. Don't care. 2.5. Don't care. Maybe a score prediction. Should I say the Ravens win by a field goal just to cover? Knowing how Vegas works, this kind of feels like a trap game. This kind of does. But honestly, I don't care. This is the week where like I'm kind of going against everything I've learned about lines and just kind of going with my heart. And I think the Ravens are going to win. I'm picking a lot of favorites, I feel like. I'm picking a lot of favorites to cover, which I know is a dangerous game. Of course, go Titans, but hey. Bears, Raiders. God, who wants to watch this game? Who the hell wants to watch this game? Just because I think Geno Smith is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Not worst, but no, I think he's one of the worst. He's playing like one of the worst, at least. I hope it's a high-scoring game. I have zero faith in Caleb Williams, but I'm going to go Bears. Not confidently. I'm going to go Bears. Sure. Why not? Let's go Bears. Don't love it. I like the over more than anything in this game. This is another one where I would bet the over instead of the spread, but sure, we'll go with the Bears. Tie my hands behind my back and throw them in the ocean. I'll go Bears. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's talk about the moneymaker. Packers at Dallas. 500 dogs picks to cover so far, including TNF. There it is. There we go. Cowboys, Packers. I like the Cowboys to cover. As crazy as that sounds, the Packers are going to win. The Cowboys are going to be embarrassed. I think they're going to cover. I do. I think this game, it means too much to Jerry. Means too much to Dallas. It's going to be at home. The stadium's going to be rocking. Everybody knows Dallas sucks at home. It's probably going to be high scoring. The implied total is a lot. 47.5. Same as Bears Raiders. I like Dallas to cover. I do. A touchdown's a lot. It feels like a trap. In fact, I'd probably wait on this one because I got a feeling it'll get to 7.5 by Sunday, by game time. But I like Cowboys to cover. I do. If there's one thing I know, it's the Cowboys like to compete in big games that aren't in January. I don't think the Cowboys are going to get smashed like everyone else expects. Their defense is awful. Don't get me wrong. The Packers are really good. I think so. But at the end of the day ends, and Dallas doesn't lose big. Not on prime time. Not on prime time in the regular season. I like Dallas to cover. I think this feels a little bit like a trap game. There are 3 games left. Why are there... Okay, wait. No, this is Thursday next week. I was like, why are there 3 Monday night games? Again, I don't love the Monday Night Football doubleheader, but here we are. The amount of effort the national media and NFL are putting into this is going to be a bigger blowout than a playoff game a couple years ago or an overtime threat. Maybe. So it's going to be one of the other, right? I mean, maybe. One or the other. I don't know. Like, how is it going to be a bigger blowout or an overtime threat? Like, we got to pick one side, and I'm assuming it's going to be an overtime threat. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I think Dallas, and this is going to sound really sacrilegious to me because I'm not a big Cowboys guy, obviously. I think Dallas is getting too much hate these days. I do. I really do. It's easy to pick the Packers on the road. Playing Micah Parsons will probably get 7 sacks. Don't think it'll matter. Whether the Cowboys score in garbage time or keep it close the whole time, I think they'll cover. Hot take, don't care. Jets, Dolphins. Who cares? Let's go Jets. The Jets competed last week. The Jets did. And I think, well, it might not be time to fully hit the panic button with the Dolphins. Well, but the Dolphins have a long week and are at home. I'm changing it. I really do think the Jets competed, and they're probably a better team in a vacuum than the Dolphins. But at home, prime time, I think Mike McDaniels has had plenty of time to look over the playbook. Tua is probably taking a couple naps, rest up that brain of his. I think the Dolphins will cover. Long week, very long week. Could you imagine a Thursday game and then you turn around Monday night game? That would be like the greatest thing that's ever happened in Giants history. Thursday to Monday night turnaround at home. Who the hell let this happen? What the hell? I like the Dolphins to cover on that and that alone. Last game, Bengals Broncos. Woof. 7.5 feels like a lot, fellas. It does. It really does. 7.5 is a lot. I think the Bengals will look better than people think. Oh, boy, this is tough. This is a must-win game for Denver, too. It's a must-win game. This one's tricky. I don't feel good about it. 7.5 in prime time. You guys might be punching your screen right now. I'm going Bengals spread. Broncos to win outright. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crazy. Bengals spread. That much I will say. Bengals spread. Hate it or love it. I think Jake Browning is better than he played last week. I think the Broncos their defense is just not as good as you'd think. And since he'll put up some points. Since he sucks, they won't win the game, but I think they cover. I'm glad Mahi agrees. I'm glad you agree, Mahi. I think they cover. 7.5 is so much. So that's the Hunnaball parlay for the week. And this time I actually can keep track of it. We got Vikings -2.5, Giants +6, Lions -10 at home against Cleveland, Eagles -3.5 on the road. Yeah, exactly. Browning can't shit the bed again. Saints to cover 15.5 just because 15.5 is too much. Falcons +1.5. Why not? I think the Commanders suck. Titans +7. That's probably my most confident pick of the week. Patriots -5.5. That's probably my second most confident pick of the week. Rams -3.5. I like that a lot. Niners -3.5. Like that a lot. Ravens -2.5. I know I'm going to get heartbroken on that one. I know I'm going to get burned, but I will not pick the Chiefs, this Chiefs team, +2.5 against the Ravens. I do like the over, though, with Xavier Worthy coming back. I do like the over at 48.5. Ravens getting a lot of primetime games this year. Oh, that's not even primetime. That's 1:30? Oh, man, that's a fun 1:30 game. I'll be tuning in for sure. All right. Bears +1.5. Feel kind of about that one. Whatever. Cowboys +7. I think that's my hottest take on here. I don't care. I like it. Dolphins -2.5 because, at home, long week. That's it. Don't want to bet on Tua, but I also don't want to bet on Justin Fields. So there we go. That's if Justin Fields plays. If it's not, I don't want to bet on Tyrod Taylor. Either or. Bengals +7.5 because 7.5 is too much. See what a $5 turns into. That's 74 big ones. 74 large. 74 grand if you're riding with Hunnaball this week. I will not be betting that. I don't think you should either. But if you believe in my sports knowledge and want to throw 10 cents on it to win $1,000, I'm not going to stop you. All right? Bet responsibly. I'm just picking with the spread because it's a lot easier to pick. Well, it's a lot more interesting to pick with the spread than it is to pick straight. Because what the hell? It's like, oh, I think the Bills are going to beat the Saints. It's like, thanks. I love when people do that. They'll go through and they'll be like, I think the Bills are going to beat the Saints. The Chargers are going to beat the Giants. And they just pick all the favorites without the spread. It's like, thanks a lot, dude. Thanks a lot. But those are my picks. That's what I've got. And we are approaching the 2-hour mark in this stream. Should I do the Thursday Night Hinge update? I don't even know where my phone is. Where the hell's my phone? Let me find it. If anyone has any takes, any hot takes, any lines they agreed with or disagreed with, please throw them in the chat now while I find my phone and do the Thursday Night Hinge update. and then we'll get off this. I found my phone. It was behind the green screen. All right. Here we go. Come on, green screen. Work with me, damn it. Work with me, man. I thought I had it. Work with me, green screen. Come on. Jesus. There we go. Don't know what I did. Wasn't the date supposed to be tonight? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Slapsky asked a fantasy question. You talk fantasy in here. I trade away Bowers and Chase Brown to get Janty and Ibuka. Great move. Great move. We do talk fantasy in here. Slapsky, drop a like. Great move. I love that. I think Bowers is playing hurt, and I don't love it. I don't love him as a fantasy option. I think Chase Brown is behind a terrible O-line, and PFF agrees with me, by the way. Here's the PFF run blocking grades. Let me pull it up right now. Run blocking. Bengals are the worst in the NFL. I like that trade a lot. Janty, you're getting a lot more work with Egbuka. I wouldn't hate flipping Egbuka, or Egbuka, whatever. I wouldn't hate flipping him. May's a solid QB. Janty, Pollard, Odunze, JSN, Juwan Johnson. Yeah, I like Juwan Johnson more than Bowers. I know that's a hot take, but that's where we're at. Egbuka, Golden, Packers D, Caleb Williams. I'd probably start Caleb this week, just to be honest. CD, oh, that sucks. You're losing CD. Downs, Tootin, Bill. I like it. That's a good team. Sounds a lot like my team. I like it. And Scadaboo. I like that team a lot. I'd probably consider starting Scadaboo over Pollard, but that's just me. You can do whatever. But, yeah. Whoever traded you Ibuka don't know ball. Yeah, probably. Now's a really weird time to sell Emeka, but whatever. Hey, I like that trade a lot. So everyone drop a like for Slapsky's win in the trade. I like it. All right. I like how he's like, y'all talk fantasy in here? No, we talk Hinge. The Thursday Night Hinge update. This is going to be so funny if I have no messages. This is going to be great. Thursday Night Hinge update. And... Oh! All right, fellas. Well, couple things. All right, couple things. All right. I don't know if Scadaboo was answering dude's questions about darts first pass. Oh, damn. Oh, by the way, Theo, let's go neighbors. Why overthink it? I didn't even respond who catches darts first touchdown. Let's go neighbors. Why overthink it? Neighbors. Get them involved. They're going to find a way to get the ball one way or another. Straight up. But anyways, going Theo. Yeah, I'm going Theo. Yeah, I like neighbors. I know it's an easy take. I'm going neighbors. Theo's a cool pick though. Theo's fun. I like that. Hopefully Theo holds on to it this time. All right. Here are the Hinge updates. Okay. So there's a girl that I was talking to about 2 weeks ago over the phone, and 2 days ago I was thinking about her because 2 weeks ago we were texting and I was like, we should go out sometime. We were talking about Love Island and The Bachelor, because I'm gay and I like reality shows. Scatterboo on the check down goes for 20 plus. I agree, but I don't think it's a touchdown. I think that'll put them in range. And then back shoulder fade to neighbors. Why not? One time. But we were talking 2 weeks ago, and then she was like, you know what? I'd love to go out, but I'm not in town, so unfortunately I can't, but I'll text you when I'm in town. But we had a really nice conversation. And fast forward to Tuesday of this week, I wasn't on stream, and I was driving to the grocery store, and I was sitting there, and I was like, God, why can't more girls talk like... Her name's Lexi. Why can't more girls talk like Lexi? She was fun. She's a fun conversation. And sure as shit, that night, I opened Hinge. She texted me. I thought it into existence. And that's not calling her a thought, but I thought it into existence. And we had a nice conversation, and we talked about potentially going out tomorrow night. She has yet to get back to me, but I just wanted to give you an update on that front. The reason I got excited, I've alluded to this girl before. Was this on Hinge, or did you move it to text? It's on Hinge. My comfort zone is staying on Hinge. Let's text after the first date. Okay? However, I got two messages, right? One of which I haven't talked about on this stream this much. This girl is the reason I like her. I'll put her name. I'll say her name. I don't want to put these people on blast, but it's not like she's watching the stream. It's not like she's tuning in. Okay, this one, just so we can keep track, right? This one's named Aiden. Now, the reason I like Aiden is because she's 5'11", 5'10", actually. I've never dated a tall girl. I'm a tall person myself. I'm 6'2". My Hinge says 6'3". No, it doesn't. It says 6'2". I tried 6'3", but 6'3", it looks like you're lying. 6'2" is like good. I'm probably like 6'2" and change, but 6'2", right? But she's 5'10", bisexual, which, you know, and she's cool. She's cool, man. And we've been going back and forth talking about dates. And what makes me happy is, well, okay. I mean, I just read the message, and it's, you know, it's kind of brutal. Basically, we've been talking about dates, going on dates for a while, but we're both kind of playing phone tag. Like, shit, I don't know, maybe not. Finally, she gets back to me. I'm like, okay, cool. I asked her, I was like, hey, do you want to go on a date? Her whole thing is like, her whole profile is talking about the spaghetti trees in Switzerland. Apparently, trees that grow spaghetti. Let me look this up. Did I get that? Oh, I got that. There are trees that grow spaghetti in Switzerland. I had never heard of this. It's a hoax. Okay, so it's not even real. That's great. That makes this girl less attractive. But yeah, so they grow on trees. So she says, this is like her main line, right? So we talk about it. I'm like, no way. And we talk about like reality shows and stuff, because that's how, like, you know, I get in with women. I talk about, you know, women shit. And not that I don't like reality shows. It's just, you know, that's my in. That's my move. But anyway, we're talking about these, and I say, I live in California. I'm like, what if instead of spaghetti trees, we saw some palm trees and went on a date? And it worked. And it worked. She was like, I'm down. What day? And I said, honestly, any day besides Thursday. I didn't explain the whole Thursday Night Football live stream, but I was like, any day besides Thursday, right? And she goes, and she just responded. She just responded. Or yesterday, actually, at midnight, which, you know, okay. Yesterday at midnight, she goes, maybe Saturday. I have that day off. Fellas, if I get my video done, which is the plan, I want to have it done and uploaded on Saturday morning, I'm going on this date with this girl, which means I will have shit to say on Sunday. If she flakes, if she flakes, I will be embarrassed, but I will not lie. I will be completely candid. So that's Aiden, right? Tall, spaghetti trees, clearly a conspiracy theorist, but I like her. She's cute. She's got a nice look to her. She's tall, and that's cool for me. But the main reason why I got all juiced, the main reason why I got all excited, is I've alluded to this other girl on this stream before. There's a girl. Holy hell. I'm going to go on a date with this girl too. Holy shit, I'm totally going to go on a date with this girl. There is a girl that I sent a rose to on Hinge that I was so into. If you're not familiar with the dating app scene, you can send like special likes. On Hinge, on Tinder, it's a super like. Super like! On Bumble, I don't even know what it is, because Bumble's a disaster. I hate Bumble. Bumble's the worst one out of all of them. Putting it on the girl to text first is such a, like, I get the idea. Doesn't work out. Doesn't work out. I met a Giants fan on Bumble. This is what soured me. I met a Giants fan on Bumble. She was like, my family's from Jersey. I'm actually a big Giants fan. It sucks, doesn't it? And I was like, oh my God. Stop the presses. I gotta marry this girl. And then she just ghosted me. I was like, what the fuck? What happened to once a giant, always a giant? What the hell? What happened to that? So that's why I don't like Bumble. But on Hinge, you get a rose. You get to send one rose per week, right? And I saw this girl. I'm 23. This girl's 25. So a little bit of an upward swing. And I think she is cute, man. Like, attractive. Like, I'm not trying to oversell. Believe me, I'm not trying to oversell. The last thing I want to do is fall in love with some girl I've never met. Genuinely. But this girl's attractive, man. Not a flex. Just saying, I'm really into her, right? And I thought there's no way in hell this girl will ever match with me. I'm just going to send a rose because you get one free rose per week. She matched with me. I was like, holy shit. I literally listened to Seal's Kiss from a Rose, which, if you haven't heard that song, great song, right? So I text her, and I'm like, hey, what about, her whole thing, she's like Mrs. Ambition, you know, let's talk about our goals and dreams and shit, which is cool. You kind of get what kind of flavor girl I'm working with here, though. Like, the kind of girl that's like, let's quit messing around and get married already. Like, I'm 25. I'm ready to get out of the game. It's like, I don't know if I'm there yet. But I will see this through. because I sent her a rose and didn't expect to get a response. The amount of times you match with a girl on a dating app, and I say this as if you guys have never been on dating apps. It's very possible you guys have similar experiences or different experiences. But what I'm saying is, let me turn this up because this piano music's really quiet for some reason. Even though I do like it, it's probably AI. But this is probably AI, but you know, who cares? But I hate looking at this picture of a spaghetti shit, by the way. This shit grosses me out. I hate old pictures. Oh, God! That's even worse. Let's stick to that. All right. But anyways, so I text her. I was like, what about late night beach runs? Because that's her whole thing. She's like, I like hikes and running and shit and, you know, sunsets and all that, you know, Sigma shit. And I'm like, hey, what about beach runs? Is that on the table? Not thinking she would respond. The amount of times you match with a girl on these dating apps and they just flat out don't respond, because for 90% of people, and I'm guilty of this too, it's just a game. It's just an attention validation game. It's waiting for people to like you and then be, oh, this girl thinks I'm cute. Cool. I can just attach that to my ego and move on. I don't have to put myself at risk at all. The stakes are through the ground on these dating apps. I didn't expect this to work out. I asked her, what about sunset beach runs or whatever? Are those on the table? And let me tell you something about the table. I'm running this shit. She goes, I think I could manage that. Holy shit! Again, this is an older girl. Not that much older, but this is an older girl. She's ready to cut the shit. Cut to business. It is 100% a game. I think you're the only one here, Mai, but I love it. I appreciate it. I completely agree. And then I'm like, sick, what's your favorite beach to run? Again, I'm in California. And I didn't think she'd respond, but sure as shit, 2-day turnaround. She responds. She gives me a solid answer. She goes, I like the trail by X, right? And you can run the stairs if you're feeling ambitious. How about you? Wait a minute. How about you? Wait a minute. How about you? I thought that was like her asking me out. Oh boy. Well, I got a little too excited. The point is that she texted back. I did not think I would get this far with this girl. This girl is very attractive in my opinion. Didn't think I'd get this far. But you know what, damn it? I'ma go for it. So, the Thursday night Hinge update, Thursday night Hinge, is I might have a date booked on Saturday. You're so right about matches not hitting you back. I get it. The amount of times that I've been talking to a girl and I'm just like, I'm not even into this anymore. I'm just gonna move on. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a match is a first down. That is the best way I can put it. A match is a first down from your own 25. It is not the like, we're in field goal range, we're in the red zone. A match is a first down, straight up. And a touchdown is going on a date. That is the scale. A touchdown is going on a date. Or maybe, you know, sex. But like, however you want to say it. Yeah, American Dragon Disciple, exactly. Yeah, we don't miss. I mean, I only got 2 messages. I was kind of waiting for some more girls to hit me, but you know what? I spent a day, and if you're wondering, the girl who was buddies with Little Big Dick, as we called it, which if you weren't here for that stream, that's not going to make any sense, but the girl who was there, she texted me on Sunday saying probably sometime this week. Then I texted her back on Tuesday saying when. No, I didn't say when, but I was like, I can do this day or this day. She still hasn't gotten back to me. Dream's not dead, but I really want to go out with that girl just to ask her about that picture. So I know if you know, you know. If you know who I'm talking about, you do. If not, I'm not going to put her on blast again. I want to ask her about that picture. She's got a picture with her and a midget in her profile, and I want to see what the story was there. But yeah, so we got 2 messages, likely a date on Saturday, and a cheap one at that. A match isn't a bunt, just barely making it to first base. Exactly. But I'm not a baseball guy. I think it's a first down. Maybe like a 15-yard gain. Maybe not just like a straight, like grinded out first down. It's like you go play action on 1st and 10, and you get it. It's like, holy shit, we're gonna move the ball. We can move the ball on this drive. And then I'll say this much. The girl responding to you, or the guy responding to you, no judgment here, but the person responding to you, that's you getting past the 50. That's you getting past the 50. That is the battle. The amount of times girls will just like and then not respond is crazy. But I get it. I totally get it. The stakes feel incredibly low on these apps. It's crossing the 50, right? Then you talk about dates. That's field goal range, right? And then you get a plan, like a location, a time. You get it on the books. That is in the red zone. My rule with women, and this is gonna sound really bad. What's the plan so far for Saturday? Beach, whatever. Beach walk, get ice cream. I don't give a damn. Whatever's cheap. Whatever's easy and cheap, to be honest with you. Straight up. Simple. And I got a bum foot. I should not be walking, but whatever's easy and cheap. I don't care. Make it happen. Not only for me, but for the stream. But, yeah, man. So, then I'm Brandon Aubrey. I'm kicking it regardless. Yeah, man. No, but that's what I'm saying. Getting the date, and this is my rule with women, and this is going to sound crazy. And I don't like swearing on these streams, but I will. I'll say it. This is going to sound bad. My rule with women is, it's not over. I don't want to say this on stream. I'm going to. I don't want to. It's not as bad as the Gettleman thing, but it's just kind of raunchy. With women, if your goal is to, fuck, it is not over until the dick is in. You know what I mean? Like, you know how when Penix got selected and it was like, the dick is in. It's not over until then. A woman can pull the rug out from under you at any point, and she has full right. I'm not here to Deshaun Watson it and be like, oh, well, I thought you wanted to massage me. Like, nah, dude. Any person, any consenting party has any right to pull out at any point. That is exactly how it should be. But as a guy, as someone who's dating, just some advice, as someone who hasn't had a lot of success, to be candid, it is not over until it is over. Anything is possible. And you know who taught me that? It's not over until it's over? We're looking right at it. The New York Football Giants. Any Giants fan would know that is the way to live life. It is not over until the clock is at 0. It is not over until you kick the point after and the refs have confirmed the touchdown. It is not over. There's always going to be a flag, or someone was out of bounds, or something. It is not over until the clock is at 0. That is my stance on dating. You could have everything go right. You could meet your soulmate on one of these apps. And if they're not feeling it, they're not going to respond. Even if they like you. The amount of girls that have liked me, and then I text them, and they don't get back to me, I'm like, look, I'm the one being chased here. I'm the prize. What are you talking about, lady? So that's my stance. So I'm going to text this girl right now. She hit me yesterday. So I'm going to text her right now and just being like, let's meet at X beach at this time. I'm just going to be straight. Like, this time, this place, see you there. Let's get ice cream or some shit. Something cheap, because I'm out $20. I'm out $20 because of this damn shirt. But football is the perfect metaphor for life. Football is the perfect metaphor for life. Football is art, damn it. Football is art. So that's me. That's the Thursday Night Hinge update. I will hopefully have some stuff to tell you guys on Saturday. Hopefully it goes through. I really hope so. Just for the story. Just for the bit. You guys know I love telling stories on here. I don't know if I told a story tonight, but I'm sure talking to these draft classes. Spoiler alert, I wasn't happy when the Giants took Dan Jones. So there you go. In fact, let me see if I can pull up the video of my reacting to Dan Jones. Did you see him yet? I didn't. The person who I was supposed to watch it with completely flaked on me. He was like, "How about Friday?" I'm like, "I can't. I gotta edit." So now I'm stuck. I saw it this weekend. What did you think, Jarv? I know you said it. It was either you or someone said it was a movie that happened, which, like, yeah, I heard it wasn't great. But you tell me. You tell me how it was. I will try my best to check it out. I got so many dates. No, I have no money, and I also have to edit this damn video, which, especially if I'm going to go out with this girl on Saturday, I'm going to be up all night tonight. Oh, boy. Tomorrow's going to suck, guys. I'm going to be editing all day. Oh, boy. Let me find this video of me reacting to the Dan Jones pick, and then we can call it a night. Okay. I'll email it to myself, and we'll make it happen. Oh my god, of course, dude. How can I upload? Okay, let's upload it to Google Drive. This is not going to work, but we'll try it. I do like how the music's gotten a lot calmer. Oh boy, I have thoughts. Maybe my biggest disappointment I've had in theater. Really? Did you watch Joker 2? Did you watch Joker 2? Because that's mine, frankly. That's mine. As a film and media studies major, a waste of a good concept in Marlon Wayland performance. Is Marlon Wayland the like supposed football player in that movie? I have no idea who he is. I'm just taking a guess. But yeah, it is a good concept. A football horror movie. A football horror movie. I think that's sick. Based on CTE. No way that. Wow, that uploaded fast. Oh my god. It's still processing on Google Drive. Let's give it 5 minutes. Definitely ARG it, but theater. ARG! You can definitely ARG it. I might. Shoot, I might. At this point, I should just ARG it while I'm editing tomorrow. Marlon Wayans is pretty good in it. Is Marlon Wayans? I gotta look this up now. I feel like an idiot. I feel like I know who you guys are talking about because he seems like the lead. Yeah, this is exactly what I thought. Yeah. He defends him in social media posts. Don't take anyone's opinion. Just go see it for yourself. Well, guys, I'm not supposed to listen to your opinion, so you can shove it. Oh, he was the guy in White Chicks. That's where I remember him from. Damn. Let's see the reviews. Clearly, if one of the leads comes out and says, don't listen to others' opinions, that's not great. That's not great. Scary movie. There you go. Okay, him. Got a 30. Oh, my God. Is this your reaction, guys? Is this how you felt? Oh my god, it uploaded. All right. Well, you don't know Marlon Wayans from the Wayans Brothers scary movie. I don't. I'm not a big scary movie guy. I thought they were funny, but I watched them when I was younger, and I don't really remember them very well. I never wanted to revisit them. Like I got it, you know. Yeah, The Senior. God, they never do football stuff good. Remember how awful Draft Day was? Draft Day was so stupid. I liked it because it came out when I was a kid. I was like, oh my god, a licensed NFL movie. But then I watched it as an adult. I'm like, this movie sucks. It's literally the face making in the theater. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh boy. Well, I'll try and pirate it. Sorry, I'll try and ARG it. It seems a little abstract though. I think the concept Jordan Peele football horror movie seems really interesting, but obviously they didn't do much with it. Don't spoil it, but I know you guys won't. I'll try my best to check it out. Anyways, just to close out, I pulled up this video. This is me reacting to the Daniel Jones pick. If you're wondering what kind of Giants fan you're working with, then this is me. Draft Day was hilariously bad. In hindsight, yeah. I remember, Moneyball is one of my favorite movies ever. Point blank. Sports and all. Moneyball is so good. I bought it on Prime. So hopefully that means I have it forever. Knowing Prime, I won't. But, you know. Anyway, I hope there's sound. This is me reacting to the Dan Jones pick.
Yes! Yes!
As you see,
Yeah!
I'm a pretty hefty fellow at this point.
Yeah!
That's me.
Whoa! That's a W! That's a W!
I'm going upstairs. That's fine. Go ahead. Go to fucking town, Captain.
That's my
Worthless
dog,
to
Captain.
me.
He's biting my.
Actually, don't.
He's eating my Saquon jersey. He was on to something. My dog knew. My dog knew. By the way.
Damn it.
This is so
Not the
cringe. I
Saquon
was like
jersey.
16.
Fuck, Captain.
he's not giving it up.
It's so funny because this is how I react.
No
I'd watch the
way.
trailer, but I don't want to get copywritten.
No way. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones.
I couldn't believe it.
Look at him walk
So when
up
we
there.
defend Dave Gettleman, this is the kind of stuff he put me through. Okay, I never actually watched this far into the video. Point is that yeah, Daniel Jones, yeah, people are not happy about it. People are not happy. So that was me reacting. I was not happy. So anyone defending Dave Gettleman, aka Jarv, don't care for it. Do not care for it. But yeah, him. I've used it as a background in some of my videos.
The crowd.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to get copywritten. But the point is, I'll watch it after. I will try my best to check out the movie and let you guys know what I think. I had some reaction to the DJ pick. Exactly. I ripped off my jersey, showed my fat gut, and there it was. But that was pre-mustache. That was pre-Maggie Gyllenhaal look. But anyways, guys, it's getting late. It's almost 11 over here. I gotta film my video and write my script. Oh my god, I'm so fucked. Should I just go to bed? Should I just write my script, sit with it, go to bed? I was so positive Josh Allen. I was like, no way! We got Josh Allen! The Raiders took Clelin Ferrell! How the hell is this happening? And then Gettleman. Gettleman had to do it. He had to take Dan Jones. He had to do it. I completely agree. I couldn't believe it. I know Herbert was supposed to be the QB, but can't live on ifs. Anyways, but as I was saying, that's the night. But you guys have been sick. This has been fun. I obviously love doing these. I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. This Sunday, we're going to stream during the early morning window. So if you're here, please stop by, talk some shit, or, give me my flowers because the Giants are going to win by 100. Yeah, hopefully Dart doesn't suck, man. Oh my God, that would be so brutal. But until then, I'll see you guys then on Sunday. And if you don't want to stop in, you like enjoying your Sundays to yourself, I totally get that. I will leave the stream VOD uploaded for a while, so you can always check it out, relive it. And I'll try and stream after Cowboys Packers. I probably will, but I can't. I'll be here. I'll find a way. I'll be here. I have flag football, but I'll be here, fellas. I'm going to make it work. I love this stream, damn it. I care a lot more about my YouTube channel than I do about adult flag football. Hate it or love it. And hopefully I'm going on a date. So, but yeah. So it's Thursday. I'm sure you guys have school or work tomorrow. So hope you guys kick ass at that. And have a good Saturday as well. Big noon Saturday. Whether you're a college guy or not, I'm not. But hey, take advantage of life. Go do fun shit. See cool people. Life's short. Enjoy being young in a world that's not completely on fire yet. It was supposed to be the rapture a couple days ago. It wasn't. World's still going. So you know what? We made it, guys. Live every day like it was supposed to be the rapture, and you'll be good. So until then, guys, you guys have a sick rest of your night. And in summary, Cardinals are in trouble. The Cardinals are in trouble for sure. Cardinals are in trouble. Giants are going to win. And Adam Rank has no idea how to rank NFL uniforms. Those are my big takeaways from tonight. Dave Gettleman sucks, but you guys don't. So have a good night. That's all I got. See you later. Hunnaball.